What's going on, everybody? How you doing? It's good to see you all. It's good to see the world. But yeah, we're gonna be reacting a little bit to our boy Donald Trump. Look, the war in Iran, honestly, I think is going smoothly. Not smoothly, but it's going well enough. But Donald Trump struck a deal, baby. Our homie struck a deal. Now the question is, what kind of deal is it ultimately? Is it a good deal for everybody? Is it a bad deal? The question will remain at this time, but let's take a look. Pulling up additional resources real quick. Give me a few moments, everybody. A couple pieces of information. I'm feeling very sexy today. But yeah, no, we're at an interesting time with all this. Give me just a few more seconds. Getting this ready, getting that ready, blah, blah, blah. My mussy. My mussy is the bussy, and I don't know why. I don't know why I'm that kind of guy. My mussy is the bussy, and I'm kind of fly. I'm kind of fly all day, all night. Gifts obviously get highlighted, so I appreciate everything. Oh, yeah. Ooh-woo. Everybody, let's ooh-woo. So we're going to talk about our boy Donald. We're going to talk about the whole situation that's going on in the Strait of Hormuz. Yeah, but Trump's pretty much struck an Iran deal with Iran from the looks of it. Give me a moment. There we go. It's I gotta pop my neck, you guys. Hold on. Okay, so we're gonna watch a little bit of Donald Trump coverage. We're gonna see he struck a deal, man. My man struck a deal, and I'm pretty happy about it, dude. And look, we all know that Trump's the man. At the end of the day, we all know that Trump's the GOAT. Obviously, right? So let's take a look and see what some of the news is saying. C-SPAN has a report here. Let's take a look.
Iran's foreign ministry says you're not telling the truth when it comes to productive conversations to end the war.
They're going to have to get themselves better public relations people. We have had very, very strong talks. We'll see where they lead. We have major points of agreement. I would say almost all points of agreement.
Oh, I just realized that it's not showing up on the screen. Hold on. Technical difficulties, everybody. We are having technical difficulties. Here we go. DT, baby. The GOAT. What the hell? There we go.
Perhaps that hasn't been conveyed. The communication, as you know, has been blown to pieces. They're unable to talk to each other. But we've had very strong talks. Mr. Witkoff and Mr. Kushner had them. They went, I would say, perfectly. I would say that if they carry through with that, it'll end that that problem, that conflict, and I think it'll end it very, very substantially. We have very much in mind our partners in the Middle East. We've had great relationships with a lot of them, as you know. A lot of them were surprisingly hit, and I was surprised to see it, and so was everyone else. But we have they're very much in mind in the discussions. So the discussions took place yesterday. They went into yesterday evening. They want very much to make a deal. We'd like to make a deal too.
Yeah, I want to see that. Let's get the deal done. Man, let's get the deal done, baby.
By
Love you,
probably
Trump.
phone, because it's very hard
Trump's
to
the man.
find a country. It's very hard for them to get out, I guess.
Yeah.
But we'll at some point very, very soon meet. We're doing a 5-day period. We'll see how that goes. And if it goes well, we're going to end up with settling this. Otherwise, we'll just keep bombing our little hearts out.
Otherwise, we just keep bombing our little hearts out. Oh, my God, dude, that's amazing. Hey, here's a full one. President Trump speaks to reporters on Iran. This is a full one.
Done here.
This is uploaded. This video was uploaded about an hour ago. Let's take a look.
Move over. Can we move over? Let's get out of this. Let's go. Isn't that more comfortable?
Mr. President, Iran's foreign ministry says you're not telling the truth when it comes to productive conversations to end the war.
Well, they're going to have to get themselves better public relations people. We have had very, very strong talks. We'll see where they lead. We have major points of agreement. I would say almost all points of agreement. Perhaps that hasn't been conveyed. The communication, as you know, has been blown to pieces.
Yep.
They're unable
Absolutely.
to talk to each other. But we've had very strong talks. Mr.
And that is true. I mean, honestly, if you talk to one sect of Iran, because they have like virtually, most of their communication infrastructure has been slaughtered. So it's like, are they able to really talk to each other? Probably not. You know, so that's what that's what it looks like to me, at least, that they're unable to talk to each other because of that. It makes it very difficult.
Witkoff and Mr. Kushner had them. They went, I would say, perfectly. I would say that if they carry through with that.
You know, I'm going to have to get what I think I'm going to need to do is get a volume increaser for Chrome. Let me put you guys. We're just going to halt this real quick. I'm going to get an extension for Chrome. I saw Asmund Gould have something like this where it like increases the volume. Volume increase. Let's take a look here. Chrome Web Store. Here we go. Volume increase. So volume booster. Let's take a look and see what the best ones are, though. Sound booster, increase volume. Let's see. Volume master. These are featured. These are featured. Oh, wow. A volume booster for YouTube. Interesting. Wonder what this, 4 points. It's got a lot of good ratings for it. Let's see. Let's see. I mean, this one is featured by YouTube. Followers recommended practice for Chrome extensions. Got it. I mean, these are all featured. Volume Master seems to have the best ratings, and it has like 6 million users. So I think this is the one that actually our boy Asman uses. So this will allow you guys to actually hear some of the more quiet videos that we react to. Give me a few moments. It's got good ratings. The reviews are fabulous for this. Let's take a look, see all the reviews. Thanks so much, helped a lot. No bugs so far. Goated extension. Is it? And it can't. Saying full screen doesn't work? All right. Well, we'll just use Volume Master anyway. I rarely go... If it gives trouble, I'll just uninstall it. But yeah, it's featured. Yeah, Volume Master looks like a pretty good Chrome extension, man. So I'm going to add this as an extension and I'm going to use it. Okay, that's really cool. So yeah, this is a really, really neat. No tabs playing, voice boost, bass boost. Oh, nice, dude. This is great. Okay, so I'm gonna put Donald Trump back up on the screen here just for a moment. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys' patience on that one. I wanted to get a volume increaser because some of these get so low in the volume that you guys just won't be able to hear it.
It'll end that problem, that conflict, and I think it'll end it very, very substantially. We have very much in mind our partners in the Middle East. We've had great relationships.
There we go.
With
That
a
looks
lot
great.
of them, as you know, a lot of them were surprisingly hit, and I was surprised to see it, and so was everyone else. But we have they're very much in mind in the discussions. So the discussions took place yesterday. They went into yesterday evening. They want very much to make a deal. We'd like to make a deal too. We're going to get together today by probably phone because it's very hard to find a country. It's very hard for them to get out, I guess. But we'll at some point very, very soon meet. We're doing a 5-day period. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it all ends up, man. I think it's going to end up going smoothly, a little more smoothly than expected, the talks. Is Iran bluffing with Trump? I don't know. You can only trust Iran as far as you can throw them. Will they allow all traffic through the Strait of Hormuz? Because obviously Iran doesn't have the cards. They don't have, using Magic the Gathering speak, they don't have the fucking mana to pull off what they want to pull off. They want to pull off what they want to pull off, but they're not. They're not going to be able to.
And if it goes well, we're going to end up with settling this. Otherwise, we'll just keep bombing our little hearts out.
Who is Steve Witkoff speaking with, Mr. President?
A top person. Don't forget, we've wiped out the leadership phase 1, phase 2, and largely phase 3. But we're dealing with the man who I believe is the most respected and the leader. It's a little tough. We've wiped out everybody.
Is that the Supreme Leader?
No, not the Supreme Leader. We don't. Well, nobody heard of the second Supreme Leader, the Son.
Are these direct?
Nobody. We have not heard from the Son. Every once in a while, you'll see a statement made, but we haven't. We don't know if he's living. But the people that seem to be running it, and they seem that based on really fact, because the things they've
To
said.
anybody who thinks that Iran's going to win this, I mean, come on, man. Their government is in shambles. Their military and navy their navy and army are pretty much gone. I don't know if people think that Iran can win this. But you know what? I mean, if you live in the U.S. and you think Iran deserves to win this, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's up with you, man.
Have taken place.
But we'll see what's happened. We'll see what
Mr.
happens.
President, I know you've deployed...
I mean, this could be all
I don't want
sorts of
him to be
things.
killed. Okay, I don't want him to be killed.
Mr. President, you've deployed...
Nobody wants to be that. Nobody wants that job right now. You know, nobody's exactly looking forward to being the head of that particular country. But perhaps we'll be able to solve that problem.
Mr. President, you've deployed ICE agents to American
Who are you
airports.
with?
Newsmax, sir. You've deployed ICE
You're not
agents.
doing a very good job.
You've deployed ICE agents.
You're not doing a good job. Did you hear me? Okay, go
What
ahead.
exactly do you want from
You
these
believe it? I'm
talks?
taking CNN over Newsmax.
What
You believe
exactly
it?
are you looking for in
Oh my God, Newsmax has become CNN, dude. Oh my God.
These talks, Mr. President.
We're looking for all of the things that we've been talking about. We want to see no nuclear bomb, no nuclear weapon, not even close to it. Low key on the missiles. We want to see peace in the Middle East. We want the nuclear dust. We're going to want that. And I think we're going to get that.
Uranium?
We've agreed to that. Yeah, we've agreed to that.
You want the enriched uranium before you can end this
And we
war.
want no enrichment, but we also want the enriched uranium. If this happens, it's a great start for Iran to build itself back, and it's everything that we want. And it's also great for Israel, and it's great for the other Middle Eastern countries, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, all of them.
I mean, in a lot of ways, it's good that Trump is talking to them. Now, the stock market reacted in kind. All right, give me a few moments. Actually, I want to see, because I ended up getting some decent profits earlier in the markets. The markets are going back down. I was able to sell some of my indices when they were going up rapidly. It's looking like it's dropping a little bit. Ruh-roh. That's okay, though. I was able to, like I said, I was able to sell some of my positions just a little bit. Like, I trickle buy and I trickle sell into everything, so I was able to actually sell for a decent profit today, which is nice. Anytime I could sell for a profit, I'm a happy boy. That's just the way I work, though. That's the way I operate. But, I love swing trading silver, though. Swing trading silver is probably my favorite thing to do overall, but I also swing trade index ETFs like small cap U.S. index ETFs, international index ETFs, you name it, that sort of thing. But yeah, no, I'm excited, man.
Kuwait and Bahrain in particular, so it's great for all of them.
If the war is ending, do you still need $200 billion?
It's always nice to have. It's always nice to have. It's a very inflamed world, and the Democrats inflame it. You know, largely the Democrats inflame it.
If you guys can, though, don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow. Also, if you can, double tap the screen to like the stream. Once again, double tap the screen to like the stream. We're pretty impressed by what Donald Trump's been able to accomplish in such a short amount of time on this channel. Look, Donald's doing a good job. I know that there's a lot of people who are like, oh, Donald Trump's not doing a good job. No, Donald Trump's doing a fabulous job. To those who are hating, if you will hate, to see you later. But look, if you're hating on Trump, whatever, do your thing. But I think you know that Trump is on the right track.
Let me just talk about the others. So ICE has done very well. I've requested. Now, I'm a big believer that they should be able to wear masks when they go and hunt down, murderers, criminals, and others. But for purposes of the airport, I've requested that they take off the mask. I don't like it for the airport, and I believe they are willing to do that.
Mr.
Why do
President,
they wear masks not at the airport, but they need to do it when they're out in the country?
Because the people coming into the airport, typically speaking, aren't murderers, killers, drug dealers, etc. There may be a few of them, but there are many. They're people that want to come into the country, or that people want to leave the country, going to maybe their home country. So I didn't think it was an appropriate look for an airport.
It's interesting that I will say it is interesting that Donald Trump is sending ICE agents to the airports as, I don't know, like security or something, or TSA agents probably as a substitute. I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. Don't know how far it's going to go, but yeah, I mean, with the lack of funding so far, I mean, the Democrats refuse to reopen a lot of the government, so it's like, what the hell? I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I think
the Democrats have lost their freaking mind. In my opinion, the Democrats have lost the plot. on this, and you could say that Trump's lost the plot. I don't really give a shit, but the Democrats have really, really lost the plot on this one. I don't think, I'm not for war, but honestly, this hasn't really been a war. It's been more of an annihilation. Look, I don't like Iran. I really don't. I think their government's putrid. I think their government's disgusting. I think their ideology is, well, I think you know what I think of their ideology. Look, I don't trust Iran. And these peace talks, I don't know, man. I'm a little sketched out by the peace talks. I don't know. Like I said, I don't trust Iran as far as I could throw them. But, we'll see what happens. Let's keep watching our boy, though.
It's a very appropriate look when they're out on the street trying to find one of the 11,888 murderers that Sleepy Joe Biden led into our country.
Sleepy Joe, baby.
Last year you gave a $10,000 bonus. Sorry. Last year you gave a $10,000 bonus to Tuesday workers who kept showing up to work during the shutdown. Will you do that again?
Well, it could happen. It's amazing. There are people that are really, really loyal and great, and it's not easy for them. And this is all caused by the Democrats. Just so you know, all this money was approved. Everything was approved. This is done.
But the Democrats are just terrible, and they're not allowing. I think they're not allowing like the TSA agents to get paid or something, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know much about it, but all I know is the Democrats keep voting this thing down. So the Democrats are just making things worse, as they typically tend to do. And that's just what the Democrat way is. I mean, make things worse, make people miserable, make the situation more hyperbolic than it needs to be. That's just the way it is.
The Democrats went in, and they want to have radical left lunatics come into our country. They want to have drug dealers. They want to have murderers come into our country. They want to have open borders, and we're not letting it happen. That's what this is all about. They don't want voter ID. They don't want proof of citizenship. They don't want mail-in ballots. They're so corrupt. What they want, I
will admit, I'm not a fan of what the Democrats are doing right now. I know there's a lot of leftists in the chat who are not fans of what Donald Trump is doing. But at the same time, I don't know how anybody could get behind the Democrats, though, and say the Democrats are on the right track. I don't think they are. I don't know. Look, the reason that things are up right now, the reason gas prices are up right now, is because of the Strait of Hormuz being closed. Or I should say restricted. If the Strait of Hormuz can be opened up again, and Iran can allow ships to pass, then maybe things will go better. But for the time being, man, I don't know. But I will say this. I think that the Democrat Party's lost its way. I think the Republican Party's lost its way. Look, Donald Trump is the outsider that we needed to change a few things, to get to spark an inspiration of change. Trump is inspirational, man, in that sense. I think he can spark the needed desire for change. Absolutely.
The only thing they want is mail-in ballots. So we also added, as you know, into the...
No, actually, the war in Iran is not the... By the way, the war in Iran is not the reason the Strait of Hormuz is closed. You know what the reason is? It's because Iran sucks. The government of Iran sucks ass. And here's the thing. Iran has no cards to play with at this point. They have zero cards to play with. Okay? And Iran knows this, dude. They understand that they have zero cards to play with. Zero freaking cards to play with. So they're in a position to where they can't negotiate. The truth is, Iran cannot properly negotiate in this situation, and how could they? Like I said, they don't have the cards. They won't have the cards. And I love what Trump is doing, man. Trump is on the right path.
Into the Save America Act. And it's called Save America. It's not the Save Act. But we added no transgender mutilization of our children. and no men in women's sports.
Sir, Elon Musk.
It's crazy that we have to still talk about that. I mean, it's still crazy that we have to talk about the whole, because like the left makes, this is the hill that the left dies on. The left apparently wants men and women's sports. Is the weirdest thing in my mind. I think it is so strange. Because there really is a difference between biological men and biological women. It's not anything crazy to say. There's nothing crazy about that. And yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of leftist lunatics out there these days. It's crazy.
If these talks go well, and you reach,
I don't think he's going to be a newsman.
if these talks go well,
Oh, by the way, we're at 9,183 subscribers. Once again, we're at 9,183 subs. We're almost to 9,200. So if you guys can, please tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow in more ways than one, as I always say. So yeah, please tap the subscribe button. Let's keep going.
when you reach a ceasefire agreement with Iran, do you believe Israel would abide by that agreement?
I think Israel will be very happy with what we have. We just spoke to Israel a little while ago. I think they'll be very happy. This will be peace for Israel, long-term peace, guaranteed peace. If this happens, and I can't guarantee it, but I think it's going to. My life is a deal. That's all I do is deals my whole life. I think this is something that's going to happen. And why?
The art of the deal, baby. Dude, I will say that Donald Trump is good at making deals. I don't know. There is something about the way that he negotiates, and maybe he's a little threatening. I don't know. But there's a way that he negotiates that's so fucking brilliant at the end of the day. And I think it's kind of understated and not highlighted enough. Trump is a master of deal making. He just is. I mean, whether you guys like it or not, he is a master of deal making, and probably a master of love making. For all I know, I don't know. Maybe Donald Trump's a masterful love maker. I don't know. But yeah, let's keep going, man.
Did happen. So tomorrow morning, sometime their time, we were expected to blow up their largest electric generating plants that cost over $10 billion to build. It's a very good one. There was no dearth of money. And one shot, it's gone. It collapses. Why would they want that?
That is wild,
So
man.
they
Holy
called.
crap.
I didn't call. They called. They want to make a deal. And we are very willing to make a deal. It's got to be a good deal. And it's got to be no more wars, no more nuclear weapons. They're not going to have nuclear weapons
Yeah.
anymore. They're agreeing to that.
Heck
Any
yeah.
of that
Okay,
stuff,
that's
there's
a good
no
agreement.
deal.
Well, hopefully Iran is able to keep that agreement. We don't really know how long they will, but we'll
Very
see.
easy. If we have a deal with them, we're going down and we'll take it
Yeah.
ourselves.
Well, hopefully the deal remains. You know.
Oil that was out to sea. You criticized President Obama for giving Iran $1.7 billion.
Well, I just want to have as much oil in the system as possible.
But Iran is
And
making
we don't even know if Iran gets that money. Frankly, I think it's very hard for them to get it.
Yeah, here's the thing. We needed some more oil back in the system. I see why Trump did it. And all the reporters are just, no matter what Trump does, he could do the right thing, and the mainstream media is going to demonize him. In fact, he typically does the right thing, and the mainstream media demonizes him because the mainstream media doesn't like him. Mainly because, he honestly, look, I do agree with Asmund Gould on this one. The mainstream media is the enemy of the people. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I don't trust the mainstream media. I don't think most people do. One of the reasons why CNN's ratings are in the tank is nobody wants to watch that trash. Because people realize that CNN's trash. They realize that Fox News is actually pretty popular, but I still think Fox News is mainstream media trash. I think that MS Now is mainstream media trash. I think majority of it is. Look, the mainstream media pisses me off, and a lot of people, I think, agree with me on this. And I don't believe the mainstream media is on the side of the people. I think they're on the side of, obviously, their advertisers, the Viagra pills and all that shit, whatever their advertisers may be. But yeah, I don't trust the mainstream media as far as I could throw them. And yeah, So anyway, thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. We're at 9,184 subs. I want to thank you all. In fact, I do want to put up some of the latest subscribers on the screen. Here are some of the people who have subscribed over the last 19 hours or less. Just some of them, not all of them, just some of them. I'm going to put their names on the screen at the center of the screen. I realize that that this needs to be increased a little bit. One moment. There we go. That should be good. But yeah, mainstream media is terrible. Mainstream media. Thank you, E.T. I love you, bro. I love you, Brony. We love E.T. on this channel. He's the man, dude. E.T.'s the man, dude. Yeah. Well, you and me, we can ride on a star. If you stay with me, girl, we can rule the world. All right, let's keep going, man.
But you have ships that are out there that are loaded up with oil. Rather than keep it there, I would rather see it go to the system. Any small amount of money that Iran gets is not going to have any difference in this war. But I want to have the system be lubricated.
Even $14 billion.
Okay, I like the way he said lubricated. That was hot.
Something helps them.
Where's the $14 billion?
Because the inflated price, they get $14 billion from the.
I don't think they're getting the money.
Oil.
I could tell you, when this is all over, I will tell you who's getting the money.
Mr. President, the Marines from California, given that.
Yeah, I wonder who is getting the money in that, because I know the Iranian oil was allowed to go through and they purchased it or something like that. I'm not too sure all the logistics of it. But pretty interesting stuff. It looks like the markets are tanking again. Oh, no. Oh, no. I think that this press conference might have forced investors to panic a bit. Hey, you know, I was able to sell some of my positions at a higher price. So, as you all know, I dip buy and then I sell for a little bit of a profit. I don't sell everything that I have. But yeah, I'm an avid swing trader, as you all know. I'm always about swing trading. You know, buy low, sell high on the indices. I love buying low and selling high on the small cap indices, preferably. That's my main go-to, man. That's my main go-to.
That'll take them weeks to arrive. Is the intention to police the strait or take cars?
What are you doing?
Well, it's been reported that there are Marines that left California, left San Diego last week, or at the end of the week. Why are they headed there now?
Well, let me ask you this. If you were in my position and I asked you that question, do you really believe I'd give you that? It's a crazy question.
Mr. President.
We don't talk about...
Yeah, because Trump can't tell the reporters every deployment that's happening, and even if he did know, like every deployment that's happening, I don't think he can necessarily tell the media because that's classified information. That is absolutely classified information. I swear to God, the media gets dumber. The mainstream media gets dumber and dumber every day. Look, I don't like the mainstream media. And by the way, if you guys are tired of the mainstream media, please tap the subscribe button. We're sick and tired of the mainstream media on this channel. That's why we do this show. Because we can't take it anymore, man. We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna put up some of the names of the people who subscribed here. Small Wiener Gang. These are just some of the people, not everybody. I want to get everybody on here, man. Small Wiener Gang. Small Wiener Gang. Bottoms for Trump. Hell yeah, dude. I'm a power bottom. I might be just a regular bottom at the end of the day, but I do believe I'm a power bottom. Let's keep going, man.
Strategy. Yeah?
Small Wiener Gang.
Let in by Biden.
Yeah, Biden let in a lot of people.
These people were let in by Biden. We're getting them out. We're getting them out fast. That's why
Small Wiener Gang.
They're doing such a good job. This animal, I saw the whole thing last night. They gave me a briefing. Came in through Joe Biden with his open door policy and his
Small
border
Wiener
czar,
Gang.
who never saw the border. Never made one phone call. All the ICE people, you see, they all know me. Everyone knows me. They like me. I speak to them all the time. Didn't make one phone call during 4 years.
Small Wiener
He was
Gang.
the border czar to anybody on the border. never went there. This person came in through the open door policy of Joe Biden, and we have others. We're taking him out.
Yeah, by the way, the border was
Small
insane.
wiener gang.
It was crazy how many people the Biden administration allowed through the border illegally, I might add, because the Democrats, this is the problem with Democrats, is they are extremely soft.
Small wiener gang.
Look, I lost my train of thought. Small wiener gang. Look, the Democrats are way too soft on crime.
Small wiener gang.
That's my major issue with the Democrats is how soft they are on crime majority of the time. That's a big deal to me. I don't like that about the Democrat Party. It's probably one of the most annoying things about the Democrat Party.
wiener
that
gang.
just really, at the end of the day, grinds my gears. It grinds my gears, brother. I will say, though, if the markets start crashing again, I mean, I will be there to buy on the dip. But it was great. I was able to sell some of my positions for a profit today, which was great. I actually got some sexy profits today. But if the indices go back down, I mean, in lower in price, then I'm definitely there to buy, man. But yeah, no, I think Trump's doing a fabulous job, and I know that everybody's like, oh, you're a Trump dick rider, blah, blah, blah. Everybody keeps saying that I'm a Trump D rider. Do you keep saying that? Yeah, they're like, oh, you ride Trump's D. And I'm like, no, I don't, bro. No, I don't. No, I don't. That's what you guys keep saying. You guys keep saying I'm a meat rider, dude. All you guys constantly keep saying I'm glazing meat. I'm riding meat. That's what you keep saying. They keep saying I'm riding the meat. My Garza's riding the meat train. That's what I hear all the freaking time, bruh. Everybody keeps saying I'm riding meat. All right? Everybody's like, I show meat. I show meat. You keep saying that I'm riding meat. Why am I riding meat? Why do you guys think I'm riding meat, man? So everybody's hating, dude. Everybody's hating. They keep saying I'm riding the meat.
By the tens of thousands.
And by the way, yeah, I am Trump sexual, okay? There's nothing wrong with being Trump sexual. Do people constantly publicly shame me for being Trump sexual? Yes. Yes, they do. But hey, I'm Trump sexual, and I'm proud of it. And you guys could say, oh, you got a small wiener gang, all right? Whatever.
We're doing a great job, but it's a shame. They've hurt our country. Just remember this. Joe Biden and that gang of radical left lunatics, some very smart, but radical left and bad ideology, sick people.
The whacked out left, dude, the crazy left, the crazy leftists.
Well, these people have hurt our country very badly.
I agree with that wholeheartedly, Trump. Trump daddy, baby. Dude, Trump daddy's the man, dude. I love Trump. The GOAT.
If we do end up hitting those Iranian power plants, how is that different from what Russia has been doing in Ukraine by hitting Ukrainian power plants?
Well, I think it's a lot different. And if you look at the nuclear weapons that they wanted to have, that they wanted to possess, a lot of things are different. I'm not a fan of what Russia's doing either, just so you understand. All right?
Yeah, I mean, Russia's a little harder to take on head to head. But I will say that I think Iran is cooked. Not just think, I know that Iran's cooked. I mean, based on a lot of the data that's been shown, I mean, the Iranian military is pretty much decimated. So, I mean, dude, Trump's on the right path, dude. I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh, Trump is so dumb. Trump is blah, 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 blah. Dude, no. And you could say that I'm meat riding. I don't give a shit. You want to say I'm glazing Trump's meat? I'm not. I'm not doing it, dude. Spear what you eat saying gargle, gargle. Dude, stop it. Stop it. I ain't gargling on the meat, okay? Everybody keeps saying I'm gargling meat, dude. I don't understand that. Stop it. I think you guys know I ain't gargling on meat, okay?
But it's a lot different. You're talking about a country that has been evil for 47 years. They've been horrible.
Oh, yeah. No, the government of Iran has done absolutely evil things for a very long time, and it needs to change. There needs to be a changing of the guard in Iran. I think the entire leadership just needs to be destroyed at this point in Iran. Yeah, what they do to their citizens, man, is terrible.
Death all over the world, not just us. Look at the way they attacked unexpectedly all of those countries surrounding us. It was not supposed to be. Nobody was even thinking about it. But they wanted to take over the Middle East, and they wanted to knock out Israel permanently. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they would have been able to do it.
Oh, yeah. Here's the thing, and this is the thing I don't think a lot of American leftists are considering. So this is one of the things that I think a lot of leftists don't consider in these equations, all right? I just don't think leftists consider a lot of these things. They don't.
Mr. President, do you know whether Joe Kent was leaking?
Look, I'm not a fan of the guy. If you look at, and you never cover this, if you look at his truths or whatever he went on, if it's X or truth, if you look at his truths or his statements, he was all for everything. All of a sudden, he was.
Yeah, it is weird that suddenly Joe Kent was not for the Iran war, but he was for everything else. Look, the Iranian war, whether you agree with it or not, I mean, it's proven to be effective. And we honestly just dismantled an entire dictatorship. And they had, by the way, Iran has weapons of mass destruction, straight up. Iran, they were in the process of developing nuclear weapons. They were enriching large amounts of uranium. They were trying to do this in secret, by the way. So, to all the leftists who think that this war was, or at least this annihilation was not necessary, it was. And it's a good thing that we dismantled the Iranian government from having terrible leadership. We dismantled their entire nuclear program, their military, and their navy. All in the span of a month. And the only thing that Iran can do at this point is close off the Strait of Hormuz, which even that battle they're losing. Look, you could say the U.S. is the bad guy in this instance, but if you're defending Iran, if you're defending the Iranian government in this instance, I hope you get your priorities straight in life. That's all I got to say. You know, I mean, it's wild. People defending Iran on this one, man. Blows my fucking mind. Let's keep going.
He was a man that I met at Dover. He came and his wife was killed. He remarried fairly quickly. His wife was killed, and I felt badly for him. He ran for Congress, he lost. He ran for Congress again, and he lost. I said, you know, he's a guy, nice guy, seemed like a very nice guy. I met him, he was pretty heartbroken, but I said, you know, it's a shame. He ran for Congress twice. Call him up, give him a job in the White House. Smart. They gave him a job in the White House, and this is what he does to me. You know, being a nice guy doesn't pay off too much.
Mr. President.
Think of it. He loses twice in Congress, ran not very good campaigns, should have won, but he loses twice. How do I get him? I have my people call him, because I didn't deal with him for the most part. I saw him a couple of times, but I never dealt with him at all. I had no idea his ideology.
Yeah, Joe Kent, man, I didn't realize he's very he seems like he's pretty anti-Jewish, Joe Kent. So it's like, look, granted, I don't understand what's up with all the anti-Semitism stuff. I really don't get it. Like, look, if you're not a fan of a specific, I can understand if people are not a fan of a certain culture or a certain people. Understandable, fine. But to constantly want to, I don't know. I don't get it. Like, for example, I'm not a big fan of Iran's ideology. But, you know, I don't want to see any downfall of the Iranian people. I want to see them successful as people. The government of Iran is definitely evil, and I think that the government needs to be dismantled. Absolutely, the leadership in that government needs to surrender at this point. And they should never be leaders again.
Ideology was left, or right, whatever it is. I can say this. He said very strongly that Iran is not a threat. Iran's been a threat for 47 years, and there's not a country in the world that doesn't agree with me on that. So I take...
Oh, dude, Iran's been a piece of garbage, like, to its neighboring countries for a long time. It constantly threatens countries. It constantly funds terror programs. Like, what is up? I don't understand where the leftists come from. I don't understand where Joe Kent is coming from, because Iran is absolutely a threat. How can you tell me that Iran's not a threat? I mean, like, it blows my mind, man. It blows my mind. Like, I just don't get it, man. I don't get it.
This guy, Joe Kent, who lost twice for Congress, pretty badly and tough, and was devastated. And I know that he lost his wife. So instead of letting him live out his life, I brilliantly have my people call him and offer him a job in security, essentially, in the White House. And what does he do? He goes out and he says that Iran is not a threat to get publicity. Now, he probably signed up with CNN, or maybe signed up with your division of Newsmax, I don't know, but probably signed up with CNN or somebody. But
Joe Kent on CNN. I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Kent signed up for CNN. I don't know. I don't know if a lot of those mainstream media outlets will take him just because of his anti-Semitic views, but whatever.
You look at his tweets, X's, or Truths, whatever he uses. I don't know, because I don't follow him. What he said is 100% he agrees with me. All of a sudden he leaves. I never knew he had a problem. Now, I hear that...
Well, I think it's because we're working with Israel. I think that's his main problem. Joe Kent's main problem is he doesn't like Israel. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, if we were to boil it down to one thing, it's that he doesn't like Israel. That's what it is. And yeah, no, and I'm kind of fairly neutral, more than people realize, about the whole Joe Kent thing. Look, if he's not all on board with it, it's a good thing he left. It's a good thing he resigned his position, because if you're not all in on this one, then, get out of there.
They're looking at him for leaking. That's possible. But just so you understand, just to put it to rest, he lost twice badly. He also lost his wife. He's remarried since. He lost his wife. I felt badly for him. So I told my people, reach out to him, give him a job at the...
Yeah, and this was honestly, Trump did that out of compassion. He felt bad for Mr. Joe Kent, and just wanted, to have him feel purpose again, right? So, honestly, what's crazy is Trump is not as bad of a guy as everybody says he is. Like, he doesn't want a long war. He knows what he needs to do, though. He needed to dismantle the government of Iran. He has successfully, for the most part, done that. Why not? So this is, it is a good thing to see a weakened Iran, though. A weak Iran is a good Iran at the end of the day. Like I say, a weak Iran is a good Iran. All day, every day. You know it. I think you guys are aware that I'm right. I'd like to believe that everybody's aware that I'm right on this one. Come on. Come on. But no, I think most people would agree with me on that. I'd like to believe most people would agree with me on that.
White House. This is the thanks I get. Any other questions?
He said Iran was not an imminent threat, that's what the intelligence showed.
I think it was an imminent threat. I think that Iran, if we didn't bomb them with the B-2 bombers, now that set them back, but if we didn't hit them with the B-2 bombers, they would have had a nuclear weapon within 2 weeks to a month. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they would have used it as soon as they got it.
If you obliterated their nuclear sites last summer with your strikes, then how can you argue it was an imminent threat now?
Oh, we hit them so hard, we obliterated them. But that doesn't mean with the right equipment, you can't dig down and go get it. We don't want that, and we won't have that. But we obliterated that site. They still haven't been able to get it. That was a complete success. But if it wasn't, they would have had, if we didn't hit them, if we didn't...
Complete and utter annihilation, man. Complete and utter annihilation right there. Straight up.
The B-2 bombers, which are unbelievable. We just ordered 22 more of them. Modern version, by the way, super modern version. If we didn't hit them with the B-2 bombers, they would have had, within 2 weeks of that attack, that's why we hit them, because we knew they would have had a nuclear weapon. They would have used it on Israel and the entire Middle East.
Mr. President, overall crime in Memphis is down 43% since you began this task force. Is this a template you think is working?
What I'm doing.
Oh, wow. Crime is down in Memphis? Now, that is actually a little bit shocking. Not going to lie. So Memphis, Tennessee, as far as I know, is pretty crime-ridden. From what I know, I might be wrong. I have no idea sometimes. Sometimes I'm a little clueless. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah. Crime is down in Memphis. Hell yeah, dude. I just want to let you guys know I'm here to give commentary and throw spitballs, okay? I'll admit I'm a Trump. I'm Trump sexual. I'll admit that. Trump's the man. And do I glaze him a little bit? Sure. But like, yeah, I voted for him in 2016, 2020, 2024. All right. And to those of you, if you hate to see you later. Everyone's got something to say. But maybe they're just jealous. That's why they're throwing shade. Honestly, I'm not even fazed. 'Cause when I win the Grammy, I'll be sure to say thanks. Am I ever gonna waste my time on a clown? No. Let's keep going, bros.
Today, really, this was a little bit before, set up a couple of weeks ago. This was before we had this situation with Iran take place last night. And by the way, they're just not communicating. When they say, I'm sure they don't mean that. When somebody says, oh, I didn't know you were talking. We were talking last night, and I'm sure they have a lack of communication, which is appropriate considering we blew up, in addition to their Navy, Air Force, every division, their radar. We also blew up all of their anti-aircraft and communications. So they have no telecommunications. So there is a lack of, I would imagine, a lack of coordination.
If you're worried about the miscommunication,
well, we think all we can do is think, look, we have numerous leader groups. They've all been killed. Very dangerous position.
Yeah.
Khomeini was killed.
I mean, dude, honestly, Trump has kicked major ass in this. And I think, it can't be understated enough, man. Trump is absolutely kicking butt on this. There's a lot of people who don't realize that. And, like, Trump's the man. Look, if you guys love Donald Trump as much as I do, please tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. By the way, we're at 9,187 subscribers. Once again, we're at 9,187 subs. So don't forget to tap subscribe. We're trying to get to 9,200 subscribers before the end of the stream. We're ultimately trying to get to 10,000 subs before the end of the month. I don't know if we can get to 10,000 before the end of the month, but I think we can get pretty stinking close. And we're going to try to get close. But I want to thank each and every one of you guys for making this show what it is. So the more subscribers we get, the better. It does help the channel grow. I really want to say thank you guys. And you're all amazing, man. You're all amazing. Amazing. Now, you guys do make this channel go round, and I want to thank each and every one of you guys for making the channel possible. But let's keep going. I got to stop glazing the chat, dude.
His son is unavailable. Nobody knows what happened to him. I can say they haven't seen him there either. Something is going on with him. But regardless, I don't consider him really the leader. But they do have some leaders left because we blew up group number 1, group number 2, a lot of group number 3. But we think we have people that are very representative of the country and will do a good job in representing.
Elon Musk has offered to pay TSA workers during this DHS shutdown. Is this something that you've been speaking to him about?
Yeah, I'd love it. I think it's great. Let him do that. And
Yeah, that'd be great, dude. If Elon Musk is able to pay the TSA workers, that's fabulous, dude.
I want to thank ICE because they stepped in so strongly. They'll do great. And if that's not enough, I'll bring in the National Guard. We're not going to have the Democrats destroy our country. These people are the most destructive, sick people, the Democrats. They want... And
I'll agree with Trump on this one because, look, the left has gone too insane. This is one of the reasons why... First off, when I was younger, I used to vote Democrat, sure. When I was, like, really young. But... when I grew older, like the age of 23, I started realizing the Democrat Party hasn't really changed since the days since they invented the Triple K, and that's a problem, man. That's a problem, and I don't know. I don't have any faith in the Democrat Party at all. I think the Democrats they've lost the plot in so many ways. Yeah, I just think the Democrats have lost the plot. That's what I firmly believe. And, you know, to those of you out there who are like, oh, the Democrat Party, they do the right thing. No, they don't. Dude, the Democrat Party doesn't even know the difference. Most Democrats don't even want to acknowledge the difference between men and women. In my opinion, the Democrat Party has gone completely bonkers. And I agree with Trump wholeheartedly on this one. I really do feel and believe that the Democrat Party has lost the majority of the plot. It's one of the reasons why I'm basically so anti-Democrat. The Democrats annoyed the shit out of me so much that it's very tough for me to agree with them on anything. Now, granted, if they actually believe in something that makes sense, sure. Absolutely. But I do believe the Democrat Party has lost its way. They lost the plot a long time ago, in my opinion. So, I don't know. Go Trump. Trump's the man. If you guys love Donald Trump as much as I do, please tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. We're at 9,187 subscribers, and we're basically 13 subscribers away from hitting 9,200. I love it. This is amazing, and I am excited.
For this, they're fighting for men and women's sports. They're fighting for transgender for everybody. Everybody go out, get your kid a nice operation, and change the sex of your kid. They're fighting for think of it. They don't want you to do voter ID. You walk into a booth in California. If a person who's doing voting, an official, asks you for identification, they're subject to being arrested. What's wrong with this country? So we're fighting it hard. And I think they should, because the Democrats are being blamed for the shutdown, and it's their fault, and they're getting killed. That's why when I announced yesterday about ICE, the Democrats called. We want to settle. We want to settle. And I told the people, don't settle. Don't settle. Because we have something bigger. Only settle if you get the Save America Act, voter ID, and so important, proof of citizenship, etc. Thank you very much.
Whose idea was that? To put ICE in the airport?
We're dealing really...
Whose idea was it?
Mine. That was mine. That was like the paperclip. You know the story of the paperclip? 182 years ago, a man discovered the paperclip. It was so simple. And everybody that looked at it say, why didn't I think of that? ICE was...
The paperclip, bro. Dude, honestly, I could say the paperclip is probably one of the greatest, not the best invention of all time. But paperclip is up there with the light bulb. Okay, I'm kidding. Now, the invention of the paperclip, though, dude, honestly, that was it is one of those things that you think to yourself, oh, shit. And it's so funny. Sometimes the simplest inventions tend to make a bigger impact than people realize, man. I love it. I love it, brother. Hell yeah.
It's my idea. First person I called was Tom Homan. I said, what do you think He said, I think it's great. Then I saw today there was some masks on. I didn't think the masks were appropriate. I put out a statement and I asked them, would it be possible to take off the mask? Because they should wear a mask when they're dealing with the murderers and the thugs let into our country.
So you said there's many points of agreement with Iran right now.
Many.
What can you give us a few
Many,
of those?
like 15 points. 15
that
points.
Iran has said yes.
Well, they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. That's number one. That's number 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, and
They
3.
will never have a nuclear
They
weapon.
said yes.
Did they actually? Here's the thing. Did Iran actually agree to that finally? Oh my God. If Iran actually agreed to that, hell yeah. Hells to the yeah if they agreed to it. But who knows? I mean, Iran lies through their teeth more than any country out there. So it's like, you don't really know, like, if they're really telling you the truth on this one. I think Iran is lying through their teeth, to be honest.
They've agreed to that.
Will we see arrests or illegal migrant arrests at airports, sir?
Arrests?
Will we see ICE arresting illegal migrants at airports?
Yeah.
Are we talking?
That's why the
That would be interesting.
Democrats are going crazy because they've allowed, by what they did, and hold up, we put ICE, who are a very high level, I mean, they really are a high level group of people. And they love it because they're able to now arrest illegals as they come into the country.
Honestly, that's going to be an interesting result, man. I'm kind of curious to see what the result is. We're gonna watch a little more Donald Trump here in a second. I need to. I'm gonna eat a little bit of lunch. I'm gonna have an early lunch, to be honest. Kind of more of a breakfast, I think. Okay. All right. Got a lot of people in the chat really mad right now, dude. Everybody in the chat's all mad. What's going on, dude? All right, I'm going to react to a little more Trump. Trump makes me hump.
That's very fertile territory. But that's not why they're there. They're really there to help.
Are we talking to Iran directly?
To no enrichment whatsoever, even for medical purposes, civilian purposes?
They have. Thank you.
What about the Strait of Hormuz? Who's going to be in control of
That'll
that?
be opened very soon if this works.
How soon? And who's in control of it? Will Iran still be able to control the flow of oil?
Be jointly controlled.
By who?
Maybe me. Maybe me.
You want the United
Oh,
States?
yeah,
Me
yeah, dude.
and the Ayatollah, whoever the Ayatollah is, whoever the next Ayatollah. Look, and there'll also be a form of a very serious form of a regime change. Now, in all fairness,
Dude, Trump's the man, dude.
everybody's been killed from the regime. They're really starting off. There's automatically a regime change. But we're dealing with some people that I find to be very reasonable, very solid. The people within know who they are. They're very respected. And maybe one of them will be exactly what we're looking for. Look at Venezuela, how well that's working out. We are doing so well in Venezuela with oil and with the relationship between the president-elect and us. And maybe we find somebody like that in Iran.
Are you considering any more options to lower the price of oil while these talks?
The price of oil will drop like a rock as soon as a deal is done. I guess it already is today. No, we have a very...
Hey, the price of oil's going down? Hell yeah, dude. I had a feeling it would. I think a lot of people were panicking. And when panic happens, things get crazy, right? Especially when there's a little bit of a supply constraint. Granted, there's definitely a supply constraint with oil. Crazy, though. It's good, by the way. I will say, one thing I love swing trading, I've considered swing trading oil on my brokerage account. I've considered it. But at the end of the day, I kind of just avoid it, man. Chris Rule, what's going on, my brony bro? How you doing, man? Really good, by the way. We're almost done. Chris Rule's killing it, bro. That was a great sandwich. All right.
Serious chance of making a deal. That doesn't guarantee anything. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm not going to come out here in a week or 2 weeks and have you all say, oh, you said. I didn't say anything. All I'm saying is we are in the throes of a real possibility of making a deal. And
Small
I think,
wiener gang.
If I were a
shit,
betting
dude.
man, I'd bet for it.
Hey, let's everybody give a shout out to Greg McPherson for 3. Thank you so much, Greg McPherson. Thank you for subscribing, my brony bro. I appreciate the subscribe, man. Thank you, bro. Killing it. Killing it.
But again, I'm not guaranteeing anything. They want to make a deal very badly. Thank you.
What changes would you like to see in DHS under Mark Wayne Mullen?
Well, he's going to be fantastic. He'll make his own change. He's already given me a list of people he wants to bring. He's a fantastic.
ET says he votes Garza for Ayatollah. No, I don't want to be Ayatollah, bro. I don't want to be Ayatollah.
Guy. I think he's just the right guy. You all know him. He's
I would rather be an asshola than Ayatollah.
a very open, smart guy, very successful, actually.
Hey, by the way, we're at 9,190 subscribers, everybody. We're only 10 subscribers away from hitting 9,200. Thank you. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to subscribe to the channel, man. We're at 9,190 subs, baby. Let's go. But hey, everybody, let's give a big shout out to Greg McPherson for subscribing, everybody.
Small wiener gang.
If you guys want to be like Greg, tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. Let's go, bro. Let's go. My pink brony bros.
Business, which people don't know, and he's a friend of mine. I think Mark Wayne is going to be fantastic. Thank you.
Are these direct shots?
Terrible. They made a mistake. It's a dangerous business. That's terrible. Thank you, Mr. President.
Well, I'm glad the talks with Iran actually went really smoothly. It appears. No, good job to Trump, man. Dude, Trump's the man. I don't care what any of you haters say in the chat. There's going to be a lot of lots of haters hating, discriminating as usual. If you a hater, see you later. Everyone's got something to say. But maybe they're just jealous. That's why they're throwing shade. Honestly, I'm not even fazed. 'Cause when I win the Grammy, I'll be sure to say thanks. All right, but I want to thank you guys. Let's keep going. Let's keep watching Trump's out of there. Let's see what else we could watch. I don't want to watch the Today Show. They suck. Oh, shit. Live. Trump speaks in the Memphis at Round Table Iran. Oh, wow. Okay.
Two of the greatest people.
I didn't
Of Congress can't be.
know he was speaking live.
Yeah.
Very good, Your Honor. Required. You would not
know what your
job to do. Would,
Hold on.
like, I mean, you know, they say the last word.
means specifically information.
So Trump is speaking here in just a second.
Went there. Anti-aircraft.
There we go.
And if they had it.
So supposedly Donald Trump is speaking at a Memphis roundtable. Talks Iran, plane wreck, all that stuff, but I want to see
No,
that.
think of it. They don't want
Still stay.
15 points. Very appropriate.
Vin Miller there in attendance. This is a roundtable talking about crime crackdown. So right now he's
crime crackdown in Memphis, dude. Hell yeah, bro. I didn't know, honestly, I didn't know how bad crime actually was in Memphis until I started hearing more information about it. That's crazy, man.
being welcomed warmly by the crowd. We do expect them to be seated momentarily as they talk about the task force that has been implemented in Memphis, Tennessee, to address the crime in that area. They are expected to talk about the results from this task force that was implemented just a number of months ago. So we do see that everyone is still standing, their cell phones at the ready, recording the president's arrival right here.
Hell yeah, bro.
There was some music, which is why we did pod that music down for copyright purposes, of course. But
yeah, it's one of those things that whenever it plays, you get copyright strikes and stuff. So, or something like that. I don't know. I just usually mute the sound if I hear the music.
The White House is saying that he's going to be talking about the incredible achievements from this task force.
Wow, that was a nice place with the best sound system. I don't know who did. Sounds like the finest opera hall.
They're probably using Bose speakers. I want to say this though. Out of all speaker systems, I will say that Bose happens to be the best sounding speaker system. My boy Daryl, nobody knows him here, but my boy Daryl, he hosts a lot of trivia stuff around town, and he uses these Bose speakers that just sound so lovely. They're not only loud in a good way, but the audio is so crisp. So crisp, and it's a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful thing.
Anywhere in the world, let's come back here more often. So often you have sound systems that aren't the greatest. And there's nothing worse, making a speech when nobody can hear you. This is beautiful and it's a great place. And Memphis has to like...
I'm just glad that Trump's shouting out the good sound systems, man. I respect that, dude, because, when I hear a good speaker system, I will admit, so I was, speaking of good systems, speaking of good stereo systems, speaking of good sound systems, speaking of bad sound systems, I guess, I will admit the Marshfield Auditorium, the Marshfield High School Auditorium, when I went there to cover the Republican governor debate for Oregon, and I was doing a live stream of that, the sound, the audio from their systems was just, oh boy. The sound was not good at the auditorium. It was very echoey, and it could be the way that the auditorium is constructed, because the speakers up top, I mean, they look like they're okay speakers, but at the same time, they also might be very old. I don't know if the Marshfield Auditorium ever really truly changed out the speaker systems in the auditorium. I don't know if they probably have the same speaker system from when I was in high school back in the day, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, it was really weird to be back in that auditorium, because I was like, last time I was in that auditorium, I was a senior in high school, which was crazy. So it was really surreal to be back in the auditorium, man. It was really cool. It was very different, though. It was very different. I mean, I didn't spend a lot of time in the auditorium when I was younger, but when we had to do different things for at the high school, the auditorium was there, man.
Because I have a lot of friends here, and they were
I don't really look at high school fondly, though, so I don't know.
Not happy a year ago, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, and now They said, we can't believe what's happened in terms of crime, in terms of what's gone on and the job that these people and some of the great people, many of the great people in the audience have done. And that's why I'm here today. In fact, we were going to cancel because we have a couple of events going on, as you probably noticed. So they said, oh, we'll cancel Memphis. I said, we're not canceling Memphis for anything. We're not canceling.
Dude, Trump is a top G. He's a top G.
We're not going to cancel Memphis, but we do have some big things happening, and very positive, I have to say. So before getting to our important discussion this morning, let me provide a brief update on Operation Epic Fury, which is a very good name, as it turns out. That was a name. They showed me 20 names, sir. What name would you like? I didn't like any of them. And then I get toward the end, I said, you got to be kidding. What? Operation Epic Fury. I love that name. And it's very appropriate for what's taken place, if you know. And
that is a pretty tight name,
Iran,
man. That is a pretty tight name.
We knocked out their Navy.
Operation Epic Fury is pretty epic for as far as a name is concerned.
We knocked out their Air Force. We knocked out their anti-aircraft. We knocked out everything. And we did it with fury, actually. As I announced earlier, based on preliminary conversations between the United States and Iran over the past 2 days, I've directed the Department of War to temporarily postpone planned strikes against major energy and electricity targets in Iran. They have very, very big, new, actually, and very expensive, billions of dollars it costs to build them. One missile, one of our powerful ones, and it comes down to the ground like it was made out of dust. But to determine whether a broader agreement can be reached, we've had very good discussions, very, very good discussions. And you have to understand, I know my whole life has been a negotiation, but with Iran, we've been negotiating for a long time.
And I'm hoping that Iran can see that they don't stand a chance. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that Iran just realizes, dude, we don't stand a chance in this conflict, and we're cooked. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I'm not too sure about that, but we'll see.
And this time, they mean business. And it's only because of the great job that our military did is the reason they mean business. They want to settle, and we're going to get it done, I hope. So hopefully this will be possible, but no matter what, we'll ensure that Iran never obtains a nuclear weapon. They can't have a nuclear weapon. They would have had one if we allowed the Obama deal to stand. That was the Iran nuclear deal, they called it. They would have had one. Marcia 3. Well, I'll tell you what, Martha, we would have nuclear weapons up there when, would you say, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or 4 years ago? We would have been in a position that nobody wants to be in. We won't allow ourselves to be in that position. Over the past 3 weeks, the United States military and our partners have been decimating Iran's military capabilities with overwhelming firepower, skill, lethality, and force, and we're destroying their ballistic missiles and drones programs.
Honestly, dude, Trump is talking about the fact that we're essentially the U.S. is dismantling the Iranian government, straight up. I mean, if you really, really think about it, Iran just doesn't stand a chance in this conflict. And I think, Iran's even very, very well aware of that. I'd like to believe that they're aware of that, I hope. But yeah, I don't see Iran doing much. I think Iran is cooked. If we're going to be truthful, I just don't see where Iran's going with all this. I mean, ultimately, where can Iran go? It just seems like everything they're doing just seems like they're going downhill. Further and further downhill, man. So, I don't know. Let's see what Trump's saying.
With launchers down by more than 90%, we're hitting their launchers at a level that nobody even thought of before. 90%. They can't launch them, and they don't have very many of them because most of them have been annihilated. But we've annihilated their defense industrial base, eliminating their Navy, We had 158 ships that day, and I said to my people, why didn't you capture the ship? I said, were they good or not? They said...
No, even by the way, even the American Navy said, dude, the Iranian ships are trash. It would be more of a burden to have them in our fleet than, you know what I mean? Like, they were saying that basically these ships are such trash, it would be more of a burden to try to maintain them than to destroy. It's just easier to destroy them. They're just like, you know what, let's just destroy these ships. Why would we even capture them? Let's just get rid of these ships. So it made sense what they were doing, man.
They were great, sir. So why didn't you capture it? We could have used them. They said, it's more fun to put them at the bottom of the sea. But they're not there anymore. So we eliminated their Navy, Pete, right? And that's gone. We eliminated their Air Force. We eliminated all of their air defense, everything. We eliminated everything there is to eliminate, and we eliminated them. We eliminated their leaders. We had the first set of leaders. They're gone. Then they met, 88 people met. And it's sad. I mean, it's sad they couldn't have made a deal. We could have made a deal with them a long time ago. Then the second set, 88 people met to pick a new leader. And they're now extinguished. And
I'm not going to lie. That sound system is extraordinary. I mean, he's coming in loud and clear, man. Coming in loud and clear. I mean, you can hear the echoes in the distance. Beautiful.
Then they're meeting again, but now nobody wants to be the leader. It's one of the few political jobs that nobody wants anywhere in the world. Nobody wants it. It's a very dangerous job. My job is dangerous too, but their job is worse. In other words, we're systematically dismantling the...
By the way, we're at 9,192 subscribers. Once again, we're at 9,192 subs. We're almost to 9,200, you guys. We're only 8 subscribers away. So who is going to be the 9,200 subscriber? I don't know. But we are 8 subscribers away. So if you guys can, take the time to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow. It helps me feel like I got a bigger schlangus than I do. I got a small schlong.
The regime's ability to threaten America. They're not threatening us anymore. As Commander-in-Chief, it's my sacred responsibility to protect our country from all threats. For decades, Iran refused every opportunity to renounce its nuclear ambitions, and in recent months, its own negotiators bragged to our representatives about having enough material to make nuclear weapons. And that was supposed to deter me, but it didn't deter. It made me more anxious, and it just made it much more important. This mission that we're all on together was much more important.
Annie, what's going on? Annie, you just made me realize now that because I know that you like to share the stream on X quite a bit. I am going to share the stream on X as well, because I got to start remembering to do that more often, because the more I share it on X, it seems to do pretty well overall. So, oh God, Micro Wiener Strategies, Michael Saylor's Micro Wiener Strategies acquires 1,031 Bitcoin for 76.6 million. Oh my God. Michael Saylor is doubling down on the Micro Wiener strategies, on his Bitcoin Micro Wiener strategies. This sucks, dude. Come on, Michael Saylor. Oh, Bitcoin collapses below 68,000. Really? Oh, I don't keep track of the Bitcoin price because Bitcoin's a Ponzi. But yeah, Bitcoin's a total Ponzi.
And we did it quicker. Iran's missile capabilities were also growing so fast that it would soon have become virtually impossible to stop them. Once they have a missile, once they have what they were building was incredible. And you got a little glimpse of it by the fact that when they came out, they started shooting all of their neighbors. Their neighbors weren't fighting with them. They were getting along okay with their neighbors. And I was surprised. Everybody was surprised. And it actually worked in reverse, because their neighbors then turned against them.
You know, here's the thing. In Iran, my major problem with Iran has been that they keep attacking their own neighbors. They keep attacking the neighboring countries. And it's like, dude, you guys got to stop this. It's so insane. Like, Iran doesn't realize that they're digging their own grave by making more and more and more enemies. And I think that they're just starting to realize that, dude, we're fucked. Iran is starting to realize that, dude, we're toast. We're cooked. We're screwed. And that's it, man. That's about it. Period. End of story. By the way, we're at 9,192 subs. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, you guys. I need you. I want you. Crawling underneath my skin. Anyway, if you guys can tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner, it does help the channel grow in more ways than one. We're 8 subscribers away from hitting 9,200. And then we're going to be 800 subs away from hitting 10,000 subscribers. So we couldn't have done it without you guys. Let's keep going.
Now Iran has one more opportunity to end its threats to America and our allies, and we hope they take it. Either way, America and the entire world will soon be much safer and will be a much more secure planet.
Absolutely,
In addition
100%,
to
dude.
all of this, we're working on so many different things. You know, our economy was fantastic. We had a Dow at 50,000. They say it couldn't happen in 4 years. It wouldn't happen during my term. But if I got anywhere close, it would be a great success. Well, in my first year, we hit 50,000. And with the S&P, they said, even more difficult. They said it would be impossible to hit 7,000 on the S&P. And we hit that in our first term. And then, unfortunately, I called Pete, I called General Kane, I called a lot of our great people. We have great people. And I said, let's talk. We got a problem in the Middle East. We have a country known as Iran that for 47 years has been just a purveyor of terror. And they're very close to having a nuclear weapon. We can.
I mean, it is true that Iran was pretty close to having a nuclear weapon because they were enriching uranium. And by the way, if you are creating nuclear power plants underneath a mountain, you know, it's like you're trying to conceal your activities. So, look, a weakened Iran, by the way, a weak Iran is a good Iran because a strong Iran, you see what they do to their neighboring countries, for God's sakes. Could you imagine what Iran would do if they actually did have a nuclear weapon? It would be catastrophic. They would nuke everyone. Iran would nuke everyone if they had a nuclear weapon. Donald Trump stopped that. And whether you agree or disagree with Donald Trump, I don't give a shit. Trump is in the right on this one. Trump is absolutely 100% correct in doing what he did. Donald Trump, in my opinion, was absolutely 100% correct in doing what he did. And I know. You guys hate it, man. I don't know. Let's keep going.
Can keep going and get that 50,000 up to 55 and 60 is no end. Or we can take a stop and make a little journey into the Middle East and eliminate a big problem. And Pete, I think you were the first one to speak up. And you said, let's do it. Because
yeah, Pete was just like, screw Iran, dude. Iran's getting a little too powerful for their own good. You do not want Iran to be powerful, man.
Can't let them have a nuclear weapon. So we are now having really good discussions. They started last night, a little bit, the night before that. And I think they're very good. They want peace. They've agreed they will not have a nuclear weapon, et cetera, et cetera. But we'll see. You have to get it done. But I would say there's a very good chance. And it began when I said that I won't be. We were planning tomorrow on shooting down some of their power plants, and we're going to hold that up. Hopefully we won't have to do it. And hopefully we can make a deal that's good for all of us, including the Middle.
Yeah, and hopefully, I mean, the goal is ideally that he doesn't have to go that route, but if he needs to, he needs to. Ideally, it would be best not to go that route at all. But if you got to go that route, you got to go that route. Especially if they're giving you no other choice, you know what I mean? And if Iran's given him no other choice, then I say go for it. Why the hell not? Might as well at a certain point. No, but I think, like I said, I think that what Trump is doing is completely reasonable, understandable, and I don't know. Everybody's hating on it. But whatever.
Middle Eastern allies that have been very good to us, including Israel, that's been a great partner in this fight. They've really been a good partner in the fight. They fought hard. But we'll see what happens. I think there's a very good chance we're going to end up in a deal. And so we're giving it 5 days, and then we're going to see where that takes us. And I would say at the end of this period, I think it could very well end up being a very good deal for everybody. As good as if we went all the way and just literally annihilated the place, which if we don't have to do that, that would be a good thing, not a bad thing. In addition, after the appalling lines and massive disruptions at major airports nationwide last weekend, I am again demanding that Democrats in Congress immediately end their disgraceful shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security and restore the full funding for airport security and
yes. It so pisses me off, dude, because it's like the Democrats, they just want to make things tougher. And all they have to do is just vote for what they got to vote for. And then everything's good. At that point, then everything's totally fine. But, of course, they're going to do their thing. They're just going to make things more difficult, essentially. And that's just it. They're going to make things increasingly more difficult. And you know it. That's what the Democrats do. That's what the Democrat Party's all about. Make things more difficult. And honestly, you know what's sad is the Democrat Party doesn't realize that they're the ones who look bad in all this because they're the ones who are keeping the TSA agents from getting paid. Because they're not voting. They're not voting for a bill to fund the TSA agents or anybody, really. So they're the ones keeping the shutdown going. The Democrats are the ones keeping the shutdown going. I mean, like, I don't know what else there is to say beyond that. And yeah, you can say this is the Democrats' fault. It absolutely is the Democrats' fault. And you know it, dude. Hey, what up, Tiny Lion Gaming? It's good to see you, my brony bro. But yeah, no, I think that what's happening... Annie says that's right, Garza. Exactly, dude. Annie, I mean, like, dude, what is happening here is insane. Like, the Democrats are trying to play this off like it's Trump's fault. No, it's not. It's the Democrats' fault. All they have to do is vote yes. Then the funding can commence. But instead, they're making life difficult, and Trump is calling out the Democrats any opportunity he gets. You want to know why? Because it does make the Democrats look bad because they are doing the worst thing. They're doing the shitty things. Yeah, Democrats are absolutely having a tantrum, as they always do. The Democrats are hyperbolic. They whine about everything. They cry and they whine. They say that Trump's an evil person. He's not. I'm starting to believe I think it's just wishful thinking on the Democrats' end. I think they want to believe that Trump is the worst of the worst. And yeah. And look, even if he ends up being the worst of the worst, fuck it. He's been a good president so far. Like, he absolutely has. And I'm not going to apologize for feeling that way, you know?
TSA, they are holding it up because they want to take care of illegal immigrants coming into our country. They want to take care of criminals that are in sanctuary cities. They want to take care of transgender for everybody, literally the mutilization of our children.
Yep, correct.
Men and women.
Democrats have all their priorities backwards, though. Democrats absolutely have their priorities backwards. Without a doubt.
But what they don't want to do is give us anything to do with citizenship for voting or voter ID. Can you imagine? We're the only country that doesn't do voter ID. Every country does voter ID. You know, brought to my attention.
That is kind of crazy that we don't do some form of identification for voting to prove that you're a citizen, to prove that you are who you say you are. I mean, like, that's wild, man.
Today that we're the only country that does mail-in voting. Mail-in voting means mail-in cheating. I call it mail-in.
Mail-in cheat. I agree with that. I think mail-in voting, the more I look into mail-in voting, it may be convenient to do. Absolutely. I do love the convenience of it. But at the same time, it does open up a gateway for a lot of foul play, in my opinion. And, people can disagree with me on that, but it's just my opinion. So it's not fact. It's just opinion. That's all. I don't know.
And cheating. And we got to do something about it all. And it's part of Homeland Security. And I'm suggesting strongly to the Republican Party, don't make any deal on anything. The most important thing we can have is what's called the Save America Act. Don't make any deal on anything unless you include voter ID, and you have to be a citizen to vote. You have to show citizenship to vote. Very easy to do. It's very insulting when they say people can't do it because they don't know how to do it. Anybody that can't do it, I think it's a very insulting thing to say. The Democrats are fully to blame with the struggle of the great American public is going through at the airports. They're going through a big struggle right now, and we just put ICE in.
Magnus Kane, if you want me to answer your question, do it in the form of a super chat, okay? You do it in. I'm not. If you're gonna be crazy, if you're gonna spam my chat, at least give me a super chat for. If you super chat, I'll respond to your super chat, Magnus, but I'm not gonna respond to your regular chat, dude.
Charge, and they're helping TSA, the agents, and they're working together so far very well. I actually suggested that in the airports they take off their masks, and they did that. In the airports, I'm a big believer in the mask because we have, Biden allowed hundreds of thousands of killers into our country. We're rapidly getting them out, by the way. But they would go after these people if they knew exactly who they were. But in the airports, it's different. I didn't love the look in the airport as you get off the plane. So I made a request and they agreed to it. So they're not going to be doing that. We would also bring out, if we don't have enough, we will bring out the National Guard and, where we need it to help out at the airports. But we're not going to let this happen. It's extortion by the Democrats. They're holding up money that's already been approved. And now they're willing to go $5 billion reduction in ICE in order to get the approval on a deal that they approved, the great big beautiful deal, which is the biggest tax cut in history, the biggest regulation cut in history. They want to basically renegotiate a deal that they already approved. And they're doing it largely for a criminal element. So also the Democrats are putting our country at great risk during this period of time.
I will say that when Joe Biden won, I think you guys know how I felt about that. I think you guys know exactly how I felt about that. And I had a lot of disbelief. And so did a lot of other people. I'll just say that.
Time, a period that they call a war. They call it a war. We call it a military operation. Their leaders during this time are...
And by the way, you should be able to question any election that you want to... You should be able to question any election. It is completely okay to question the validity of an election. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. That's okay. It's okay to be wrong about questioning things. But what's not okay is not questioning if you feel like within your instincts, within your thoughts. Look, worst case scenario, somebody's wrong, right? And, yeah.
As you want to say, they're in a never land. Schumer is gone. I mean, he's a Palestinian. He should be fighting on the side of Palestine. He's actually become a Palestinian leader. I don't know. I've never seen a man change so much. He used to be pro-Israel. Now he's pro-Palestine. I've never seen anything like it. And, he's worried he's going to lose his next election, which it only depends if anybody runs against him. If anybody runs against him, he'll lose. But he's gone very wacky and very dangerous for our country. But we want all of those things. We have to have them. We want voter ID. We want proof of citizenship as part of our funding. We want to merge them so that we can get the great, big, beautiful bill in action, and we can get. I
love that big, beautiful bill, by the way. I'm all about the big, beautiful bill, straight up. Give it to Zaddy.
The America and Save America. They called it the SAVE Act, but nobody knew what the SAVE Act was. So I said, you have to call it, under any circumstances, you have to call it the Save America Act.
Yeah, so that way people know what it's about. I don't know everything about the Save America Act, but supposedly, I guess, they shot it down. They stopped it. They halted it. And honestly, the Save America Act didn't sound like such a bad thing, dude. But you know what? It's the Democrats for you, though. They'll shut anything. If Trump wants something to happen, dude, the Democrats are an auto no, because the Democrats just hate Trump, dude. The Democrats have Trump derangement syndrome. They absolutely do, and you know it. Oh, my God. OMG.
He knows what that is. So they want funding taken away from the ICE patriots who are responsible for getting rid of the criminals that Sleepy Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country.
Accurate. Dude, Joey B, here's how I rank the worst presidents. Worst president of all time is Joe Biden. Second worst is Jimmy Carter. Third worst is George Bush. Let's keep going.
And his gang of thugs in the White House. You talk about weaponization. They weaponized everybody. You know, when Pam looks at somebody, it's weaponization. They've indicted me. What they've done to me and everybody else, it's a disgrace.
Dude, the Democrats basically Democrats used lawfare to try to get Donald Trump thrown in jail. Allegedly. And, dude, there was all those counts, the 34 counts that everybody keeps talking about. That was such bullshit. Those counts were for wasn't it like bribe money or something? Not bribe money, but like NDA money or something. I don't know. But it wasn't like the 34 counts were so exaggerated. It was insane. They eventually dropped the charges because they realized that the American people thought that those charges were bullshit. Why do you think Trump was elected and won the popular vote? Because they realized that the Democrats were using lawfare. All right?
They're the weaponizers, and what they've done to people, can never let that happen again. We can never let them get away with it again. They are the greatest weaponizers. Fortunately, it didn't work because here I am with you. So it didn't work out too well.
No, and like the American people saw through it, at least the sane ones saw through it, and they voted for Trump. Even the Democrats couldn't vote for Kamala Harris. They didn't even show up to vote. It was so funny, man. Nobody showed up for Kamala, and people saw Kamala, and they were like, they were either voting third party or they weren't voting at all. Obviously, crazy leftists that have Trump derangement syndrome are not going to vote for Trump. But people like me were like, I don't want Kamala. I still think that Trump is a better option than Kamala Harris no matter what. Yeah. No, I think the Democrat Party has lost the plot. They don't understand shit. I don't trust the Democrat Party for the life of me. And I think that they don't know how to run anything. The problem is they're just idealists, but they're not good at executing ideas. And that's the problem with the Democrat Party. They believe that collectivism, like socialism and communism, are good ideas. They've allowed that to be injected into the bloodstream of the Democrat Party. That pisses me off to no end. It's annoying. It's so annoying. God damn.
Didn't work out too well. But they want to have people come into our country. And so many of these people are murderers. They're drug dealers. They're the worst criminals anywhere in the world. They want them in our country. They don't want them to come out. They make it almost impossible, but we get them out anyway. They should have never been allowed to enter our sacred ground. These people should have never. They came from all over the world. They came from all over. They came from the Congo in Africa. They came from all over South America, Asia, everywhere. And they were from jails and mental institutions. They were drug dealers. They were murderers. 11,888 murderers. In any event, the Democrats are being blamed by the American people for the catastrophe going on right now at our airports and at other points of transportation and beyond. And we want the public to know we're not going to let them out of this trap that they created for themselves. And I'm suggesting very strongly that the Republicans, in going for the Save America Act, that you welded into exactly this, because voter ID is part of Homeland Security.
Oh, it absolutely is, because you don't want illegal immigrants voting in your elections. You just don't want that. Just period. End of story. And anybody who is advocating for that, I just think that you're kind of cray-cray. This is wild, man. This is wild, wild, wild. But yeah, if you guys can, tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. We're at 9,192 subs. 8 subscribers away from 9,200, and then we're going to be 800 after that, away from 10,000 subs. So it's crazy how close we are to getting to the 10,000 subscriber mark. So if you guys are listening to this message, I do hope you guys end up subscribing to the channel. It really does help the channel grow in more ways than one. So I want to thank you guys. Let's keep going, man.
Think of it. We're talking about 2 separate items, but they're really the same. Voter ID is part of Homeland Security, and citizenship, proof of citizenship.
But yeah, I agree with that, because like proof of citizenship, look, we don't want foreign people voting in our elections, plain and simple, because that's technically election interference. When you have somebody from a foreign country voting in our elections, that is like the legitimate definition of foreign interference in our elections. So, I mean, it's crazy. Like Michael Donaldson, what's going on? We got our boy Mr. Donaldson in the house. What's up, Brony? We got the real pink Brony, bro. And he says you need to protect the integrity of the elections, and should do everything possible to do that. Absolutely, 100%.
Is part of Homeland Security. So I think it should be welded in. I think it should be together. You should vote together, because the public has not liked what they've done at the airports, and they've done it, and the public understands it. They've gotten wise to them. Republicans do not settle with Democrats and let them out of this hole that they've buried themselves in. You have to take the votes in the Senate to approve. You need votes to approve. We have to get Democrat votes, and at a certain point, if you could get rid of the filibuster, it would be great. It would be great. Get rid of the filibuster.
Yeah, honestly, get rid of the filibuster. Might as well. I mean, technically, I think Trump has the power to do that, doesn't he? Or somebody has the power. I think they have the power in the House to eliminate the filibuster, like right then and there, if they choose to. I'm not entirely too sure how the filibuster rules work, if I'm going to be honest. So, yeah.
Filibuster and get it all done. So we'll get it done. We want another thing. We can, or we don't have to, add those other items. And by the way, they say they're 80-20 items. They're not 80-20. They're 99-1. Men playing in women's sports is a 99-1. You look at transgender mutilization of our children, that's a 99-1. And we have that in the bill, too. So they won't sign it. Then let.
Hey, Kyle Johnson, thank you for sending the high five, man. I appreciate it. Let me put the high five up for 100 joules. Thank you, brother. High five, high five. I think I might be able to like that. Let me take the time, see if I can like that. But yeah, thank you. Anybody who wants to send a virtual gift or a super chat, man, it does help the channel grow in more ways than one. Give me just a few moments, though. I'm trying to test something real quick. Anybody who wants to send a virtual gift or a super chat. Oh, okay. So it doesn't let me like it, but that's okay. But I do want to thank you for the virtual gift, though, man. I appreciate it. Anybody who sends a virtual gift or a super chat, I do highlight it on the top part of the screen. Thank you, Kyle Johnson. Kyle Johnson on VSM just sent a GOAT trophy for 1,000 joules. Holy shit! Let me give that a love. Thank you for the GOAT trophy, bro. I'm going to give that a love, give that a like. Everybody give a shout out to Kyle Johnson VSM, man. Thank you so much for the GOAT trophy, man. I appreciate that big time, bro. I gave it a love and I gave it a like, brother. Always give it a love, give it a like, man. Especially on this channel. That's what we do, dude. Everybody give it up for Kyle Johnson for sending a Kyle Johnson VSM for sending a GOAT trophy for 1,000 joules. I really appreciate it, brother.
Kyle Johnson says, "You're welcome."
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Dude, everybody, one more time. I can't speak. I'm so happy. One more time, give a round of applause to Kyle Johnson.
The people reject them, and what we have to do is we have to win the midterms. This is the most important election because all of the gains that we've made, we built the greatest economy, the greatest military. I built the military in my first term, and we built the greatest military in the world. We're showing it now with Venezuela, with Iran. Everybody knows we have the greatest, most powerful military in the world, and we're in a position that we haven't seen. We're respected. You know, our country now is respected all over the world. A year and a half ago, we were a laughingstock. We were a laughingstock. The King of Saudi Arabia told me a year and a half ago, he said, "President, I can't believe what's happened to America. 1 year ago, you were a laughingstock. Nobody thought you could ever."
Yeah, when we had Joe Biden as president, dude, the world was laughing at us. They were. I mean, like, you think the world is laughing at us with Trump? Maybe they are, but they were laughing harder at us when we had frickin' Joe Biden, the worst president of all time, in my opinion. I believe that Joe Biden is the worst president of all time. I agree with Trump wholeheartedly on this. Like, Biden was terrible. Biden was absolutely awful. Like, it blows my mind that people wanted him, you know.
Ever survive. Now you're the hottest country. Use that expression. He said, now you're the hottest country anywhere in the world. And we are now. Congratulations, because we're all partners in this deal. You're the hottest country anywhere in the world. It's really amazing. So I congratulate you. It's a great feeling because we were laughed at for 4 years with this guy that shut it down.
Oh, yeah. When we had Biden, dude, the world was laughing at us, dude. We were the laughing stock of the entire world. It was pretty rough, man. It was rough. Biden just made things shitty. The world respects us again, says Michael Donaldson. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I'm going to put that up on the
Michael
screen.
Donaldson 2387 says, "The world respects us again."
Absolutely, they
Trump.
do, man.
Never been president. So I'm tying Homeland Security into voter identification.
Larson
with
Christopher
picture
says,
and proof of citizenship.
Northern less than 1 dozen this
citizenship in
round.
order to vote. And those two items are the most important thing having to do with Homeland Security. So it should be part of the Homeland Security bill.
Tina Lion
and I'm
Deming says,
requesting that the Republican
"Thank you,
senators
President
do that
Trump, for
immediately.
putting us back
You don't
on the
have to
map."
take a fast vote.
Tina Lion Deming says, "The world fears us."
Absolutely, they do, man. They absolutely do.
Don't worry about Easter going home. In fact, make this one for Jesus, okay? Make this one for Jesus. That's what I tell him. That would be a damn good thing. The most important part of Homeland Security is voter ID and proof of citizenship. Nobody can vote on Homeland Security without voter ID or proof of citizenship. And you can't have Homeland Security without voter ID or proof of citizenship. So we're tying them together. So now, if you don't mind, let's get to the reason why I'm in Memphis and why you're doing so well.
Trump's walking in Memphis, dude. The GOAT. The GOAT. No, here's the thing. I mean, Iran has, ever since they've had the regime they've had for the longest that they've had it, they've been a piece of shit country. They've done piece of shit crap. Honestly, like, I'm seeing the entire leadership of Iran crumble has been good because the amount of protesters that the Iranian government was executing was insane. So honestly, I think a weak Iran is a good Iran. I think a weak Iran at this point, I should say a weak military Iran, the fact that they don't have any sort of like nuclear weapons at this point or any possibility of a nuclear weapon. Imagine if Iran did have a nuclear weapon, they would be bombing their neighboring countries. They would be going crazy with it. The problem is the Iranian government has a shit philosophy, a very shit philosophy, if you ask me. And they believe in, what do you call it? They have a very apocalyptic view of the world, and anybody who is not anybody who's not with them is an enemy. So yeah, it's good that they're not doing the entire Allahu Akbar to the entire world, you know. So I'm fine with it, man. No, I don't even care about the money. Truth be told, I don't really care. Look, as long as the money spent on the war, I don't even think you should call it a war at this point. It's an annihilation more than anything. But the money that's being spent on this weakens Iran, which creates a more peaceful Middle East. Iran, under their leadership, has been bullying most of the neighboring countries for a very long time. Honestly, it makes perfect sense to me to basically annihilate the entire leadership of Iran. It makes perfect sense to me. No, I mean, here's the thing, though. The difference between Trump and the Ayatollah is the Ayatollah wants to actually destroy everybody around them recklessly. I think you know that. So, by the way, to compare the Iranian government to our current government is insane. That's absolutely mental. And, by the way, dude, the most of the military for Iran is basically destroyed. The leadership in Iran is basically destroyed. I mean, luckily they have... First off, a weak Iran is a good Iran when it comes to militarily speaking, because they've been the number one state sponsor of terrorism for a long time. Iran, having a strong government, has done more harm than good, and weakening that government is actually going to strengthen the Middle East and not weaken it. So the Middle East is never really going to be at peace because they got a shitty ideology in life, but the Middle East will be at least a little more peaceful with a weakened Iran. That's all. It's pretty simple.
Because Fred Smith...
I also say this because I'm not a big fan of the Iranian government. I have not been a fan of the Iranian government for a very long time, so seeing the Iranian leadership get knocked in the teeth, it doesn't make me feel bad.
Everybody know Fred Smith? He was a friend of mine, and he created, from a sort of failed report at like Harvard or whatever, he did a business report, a concept he had, that was his thesis, a concept he had to build a company, and it was FedEx. So he gave...
Well, the main problem is, first off, the Ayatollah was executing citizens who were protesting their own government. So honestly, the Ayatollah was committing crimes against humanity on a massive scale, like 30,000. I think 30,000 were like executed for protesting the current regime. And honestly, that's a shitty regime, and I'm actually happy to see that. No, I think the Iranian leadership needed to go, and they still need to go. I mean, there's still some of them remaining, but yeah, no. I think, you know what's funny to anybody who's pissed off at Trump for doing this. If Joe Biden or Barack Obama would have done this, I would have bet you guys would have been riding their meat harder than I'm riding Trump's meat. And I mean that, like, roles reversed. If Joe Biden or Obama, if Joe Biden or Barack Hussein Obama decided, hey, let's take out the Ayatollah, the left would have been riding their meat. Now, granted, the right probably, because they don't like them, would have not been. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's polarization on both sides. I do not like Iran's government, period, end of story. So, actually, if Joe Biden would have had the cojones to actually take out to help get that underway, to take out the Ayatollah asshola, then that would have been great. Yeah, the war in Ukraine. All right. Hey, I'm not a fan of Russia either. I think Russia sucks. I think Ukraine kind of sucks too. But look, I want that war to end just as much. But look, Russia needs to be stopped. You know, I believe Russia should be stopped, but I don't think that they're killing their own citizens. As far as I know, Russia's not killing its own citizens for protesting a current regime. You know? don't get me wrong, Russia is definitely a dictatorship. I think the Ukraine's a mini dictatorship too. They just don't have the ability to be powerful enough to do anything about it. Look, anyway, a destabilized Iran creates a more peaceful Middle East. That's what I see. Because Iran's been the number one state sponsor of terrorism. They have, trust me, Iran having a strong government has done more harm than good. So us spending a little bit of money to take out a very terrible government that makes everything shit. I'm not exactly against that, dude. I'm not exactly against that. Trump's lies. Oh, whatever. What are you talking about? What lies? No, honestly, though, I think a weak Iranian government's better for everybody. Seriously, because Iran has been first off, the leadership in Iran has done terrible, terrible things to its neighboring countries for a long time. The atrocities that Iran has committed have just been awful. Like, I don't understand how anybody could truly get behind Iran. Like, if you're on the Iranian government side, I think you're a fool in this instance, because you should want the Iranian government to be destabilized. That should be the goal. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyway, Iran has a shit philosophy, and honestly, I'm totally fine with the Iranian government being replaced. And power to the Iranian people, by the way. I'm on the side of the Iranian people. The fact that they were killing people in the streets for protesting the current regime proves that regime needs to go to hell. So what are you talking about? Commits an atrocity and you're allowed to lie. What are you talking about? Whatever.
This thing.
Yeah, I don't think Trump's lying on this one, bud. And by the way, Iran really is the number one state sponsor of terrorism, straight up. So you could disagree with me on that one, but the truth is the truth. By the way, I'm not a fan of war. What I'm saying is I'm glad that this has been quicker than expected. This has been far quicker than expected. I just want to see the entire Iranian regime crumble. Once it's crumbled, let the Iranian people figure it out from there. First off, Iran not only has, that's the most conspiratorial statement I've ever fucking heard. Look, Iran sucks. Everybody knows it. People, those neighboring countries tolerated Iran because technically Iran was more powerful than the neighboring countries. Now Iran is weakened, and now those neighboring countries don't have to deal with Iran as a bully in the Middle East anymore. So now they can say, fuck you, Iran, you suck. No, but basically their entire military structure is gone, right? The entire military structure for Iran is gone. So, honestly, yeah, I still think it's going to be roughly over by the 31st of March. That's still my prediction based on a lot of elements. I'm probably going to be wrong on that prediction, but that's the best prediction I can see from based on the information available. It's just a prediction, so... Well, yeah, they're 60. It's funny that Iran's 60 years old, but they've been doing stupid shit for like 45 years under the regime that they currently have. They've had for like 45 or 47 years, whatever the amount of years they've had that regime. I mean, Iran's been absolute garbage. Okay, just because they're 60 years old doesn't mean that they're still not crap. You know, you could be a 60-year-old country and still be doing piece of shit things. It's pretty, if you're doing piece of shit, stupid shit. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's called a prediction. Predictions are meant to probably be wrong. I'm not going to say that, I'm Nostradamus, I can predict everything. Ooh. I make predictions all the time. It's called a hot take. I'm not saying I make predictions about basketball games, for God's sakes. It doesn't mean I'm always right. I don't mind. Here's the thing, Billy. You are I don't think you have the ability to admit that you're wrong with grace. I do. I have the ability to admit that I'm wrong with grace, and calmly, I might add. You know, and just because you think you're right and you always think you're right. You always think you're right about everything. Truth be told, I mean, I think I'm right about things, but I'm at least willing to admit that I'm wrong about shit. But yeah, and honestly, anytime, I will say this, anytime, like, Billy, I'm not going to have you bully me into changing my mind. I know that you want, Billy, I know that you want to bully me to change my mind and be like, this. It's like, dude, you're not even spitting facts. You're spitting shit, all right? Yeah. Well, you're wrong about Iran. You're absolutely wrong about Iran because honestly, a weakened Iranian government is good. Think about it. It's a weakened Iranian government means Iran can no longer bully the neighboring countries. And actually, in theory, it could create a more stable Middle East. I'm not saying it's going to be a perfectly stable Middle East, but I'm going to say it's going to be a lot easier for most of the neighboring countries. Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm not trying to change your mind about shit. I'm just letting you know what I believe. Right? This is what I believe. This is what I've seen. And look, I'm known to be wrong. I'm fine with that. I'm here to offer commentary and throw spitballs at the news. I don't take the news as seriously as you do. Like, you have made politics your entire identity. I mean, I just make it part of the show. At the end of the day, I don't give two fucks about politics. I really don't. I react to this shit. I have fun with it. I mean, I have my own personal beliefs, don't get me wrong on it, but I'm not married to all my beliefs. And yeah, do I glaze Trump's meat? Absolutely, dude. I don't give a shit. I'm Trump sexual, guys. I'm Trump sexual, bro. But yeah, no, I'm not afraid to be me. Anyway, I don't know.
Thing where he takes packages, he delivers them. Who the heck knows what he put down? Bottom line is they gave him a lousy mark. I don't know if they passed him or not.
By the way, thanks to everybody for subscribing. We're currently at 9,194 subscribers. Once again, we're 6 subscribers away we're 6 subscribers away from hitting 9,200. And so if you guys can, tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
Small Wiener Gang.
But yeah. Oh, we got a new member of the Small Wiener Gang. Give a round of applause to Sonny. Thank you, Sonny, for subscribing. I appreciate it. We'll put your name back up on the board.
Small Wiener Gang.
Hell yeah, man. We're 6 subs away. Oh, we're 5 subscribers away now. We're at 9,195. Thank you very much, Kyle Johnson. I appreciate the subscribe. Anybody who wants to subscribe, though. But yeah, let's keep rolling, man. No, but thank you guys. I appreciate the subscribe, man. All right, let's keep reacting to see what Trump is doing. Let's see what our boy's doing, man.
But they didn't give him a good mark. They say this is the most ridiculous.
But I want to make sure that everybody's aware. I will not apologize for voting for Trump, for thinking he's kind of cool. And look, I just want to let everybody know, I don't think that everything Donald Trump does is smart. I think he does a couple of stupid things. First off, I think his involvement in cryptocurrencies, I think is completely stupid. So yeah, before you guys think I fully glaze Trump's meat, which I do glaze Trump's meat a little bit, I do think cryptocurrency is dumb. It pisses me off that he's so involved in it. That's a bit of a turnoff for me. But other than that, I mean, like, look, when I heard about Iran's government executing its own people for protesting its government, I was actually hoping that Trump would do something. And he has. He's basically dismantled the entire leadership of Iran. Dude, the Iranian fucking government executed thousands, publicly, thousands of its own freaking citizens just for protesting the existing regime. In the United States, that shit doesn't happen. By the way, in the United States, you can protest Trump and say that Trump sucks, and you're totally fine. You're not going to get killed. But yeah, I don't know.
Business plan we've ever seen. Fred, go back to the drawing board and try something else, because this won't work. Well, he decided to go for it, and he built FedEx, and it's an amazing story.
Oh, dude, actually, the story of FedEx is a wild one. I'm not going to go into it, but I think at one point the CEO, the founder of FedEx, and this is crazy. The founder of FedEx, I think, took like the last amount of dollars that he had and ended up putting it on like red at the blackjack table, or not the blackjack table, the roulette table. And what happened? He ended up doubling it, and then I think he just walked away. I think he like put down like $9,000 or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, he got lucky on that one. But yeah, that's wild.
And he was a very good friend of mine, but he would tell me that he didn't know what to do about Memphis. It was so dangerous that they would have a board meeting, and the board members, they would demand it, that they could not walk 1 block to their hotel. You know the hotel I'm talking about. It was so dangerous. And now they tell me this is like an entirely different place. It's like Washington, D.C. In Washington, D.C., we had the same thing, and now it's amazing. It's such an honor, too. If only more governors, your governor called, and he said, we love it. Your mayor has been terrific. Your mayor has been terrific. But look at the results that you've got. Look at the results.
Killing it, man. Killing
and everybody should do it. You know, if I was Chicago, Pritzker, he's a failed governor. All he has to do is say, President, we're having a problem in Chicago. Could you come in and fix it? We'd have it fixed in 2 months. It would be good. It would be good in 2 months. It would be great in 4 months. You'd have almost no crime. But he can't do it. And it just keeps going the same way. So that's the reason I'm here, to tell you how well you've done, how well we've done. I mean, I just came in and people greeted me, sir, thank you very much.
Oh, shit.
Larson Christopher says, 5 years ago we had a potato for a president.
I will admit, Joe Biden was not one of the finer presidents. I still think that I still have a list of worst presidents. Joe Biden, number 1. Jimmy Carter, number 2. George W. Bush, number 3. Those are the top 3 worst presidents of all time.
For what you've done. I said, oh, where are you from? Memphis. What did I do? You stopped crime. And your sheriffs are so thankful. And, oh, you haven't seen it yet. You know, we've just been here a short while. In another 2 or 3 months, you're going to have, like, no crime. And, you know, we take these criminals. Is that our handsome senator down there, Bill? Is that our handsome senator, Bill? You got both of them down, but you're going to have a new governor here soon, I guess, huh? You're going to have a very new governor. Would you two stand up as senators? Please stand up. 2 of the greatest people. 2 of the greatest people. They never let me down, you know? Some let me down. They never let me down. Thank you. Last September, my administration launched the initiative modeled.
The DEA evidence, man. Oh my God. It's a lot of evidence they've put on the table. Holy shit, dude. Damn.
On D.C. safe.
Or at least put next to the table, I should say.
Task force in our nation's capital. One of the most amazing things. I mean, I hate to say it. Now I can say it. But our nation's capital was one of the most dangerous places on earth. People were being killed that go in from Iowa.
Oh, without a doubt, dude. Without a doubt. Oh, we got a 6-7. Thank you, Mr. Eagle, for the 6-7, 6-7. I guess I'll do what the kids do. Hold on. 6-7. It looks like I'm trying to juggle balls. Hold on. 6-7. Oh, I'm fondling 6-7. 6-7. Oh, I want to try to look like I'm fondling 2 balls. Hold on. 6-7. Okay. Yeah, he's in the moment. His speeches kind of go all over the place. I honestly think that Trump is autistic. Like, one of my as much as I love Trump, I do realize I think he actually, one of the reasons that Donald Trump loves Elon Musk so much is because Asperger's recognizes Asperger's syndrome. So like it's autistic recognizes autistic. So I do have a theory that Trump, based on how hyper focused he is on things, has a certain level of autism that actually could explain why he's so obsessed with certain things. Like, for instance, why he's so obsessed with real estate. I mean, it's the same level of autism that I think I probably have, which is probably why I'm so gay for Trump. Is because I reckon, autistic recognizes autistic. So like, I look at Trump and I'm like, oh, I hyper focus on shit like crazy. I obsess over shit like crazy. It's like I kind of relate to it in a lot of ways. So I don't know. Obviously Trump is far more successful than me, but like, autistic recognizes autistic. He's a highly functioning autistic man, in my opinion. But no, I think he's honestly autistic as shit, and I don't think it's a bad thing. Honestly, it's probably what gives him a lot of abilities, man. But yeah, that's my theory on it.
They go from Indiana to see the Washington Monument, and their parents would get a phone call they've been killed. And it was happening a lot. It was really bad. And like this, actually, yours was at a level higher, to be honest with you. It was really bad. But it was happening a lot. And now you walk down Washington, it's like everybody that sees me in Washington, we've been doing that another couple of months longer. Everybody.
I will say, all things considered, though, it would be interesting if we were able to buy Greenland from Denmark. That would be very interesting. I don't know how we'll pull that off, but I don't think Denmark's going to sell to Greenland to Trump. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. But
sees me in Washington, they say, "Thank you, sir. Thank you." And I immediately know what. They could thank me for a lot of things. I said, are they thanking me for the economy? I know immediately. We have people working in the White House, young women. They walk, I would say normally beautiful young women. Ever since I got elected, I don't like to say that, because usually when you say a beautiful woman, isn't she beautiful? That's the end of your political career. So I never.
Nah, Trump. Here's the thing: the reason that Trump's political career never ended is because he never apologized. He never apologized to the mob, and this is the thing that you should never do. If an entire group of people is demanding that you apologize, honestly, just double down. For instance, when a bunch of people in the chat tell me that I need to change my mind, I double down. I double down. I'm like, hey, keep telling me to change my mind. I'll analyze the situation. But if people like forcefully try to get me to change my mind, I'm like, screw it. I'm not. I might, depending on my own research. Sure. But when people tell me that I'm a bootlicker, when people say that I'm a Nazi and stuff for liking Trump, honestly, I think that's so stupid. And one of the reasons why Trump won the popular vote when he became the president this time around is because people were tired of spoiled brats calling people bootlickers, and they were just done with it. They were tired of being shamed for wanting secure borders, for wanting less regulation, for wanting a potentially better life through less taxes. And honestly, I'm fine with tariffs, dude. I'm absolutely fine with tariffs. I was fine the whole time. That was one of the things that Trump ran on. Totally fine with it. War in Iran, not a fan of war. I don't like it, but honestly, the Iranian government's completely destabilized, and Strait of Hormuz is looking like it's going to open up again soon, so I don't know. Let's keep going.
Never say that, but young women coming up to me and they're saying, "Sir, thank you so much." I know immediately what they're talking about. I say, how big a difference is it? They say, we walk to work. We were afraid to walk into an Uber. We were afraid to walk into a car. The car would be, it didn't matter. The car was being robbed when we were in the car.
Oh, shit, dude. And that was happening in Washington, D.C.? Or was that happening in Tennessee? I can't remember. Either way, D.C. was fucking crime-ridden based on some of the statistics. I couldn't believe it. Crazy.
And it was much more than being robbed. Being robbed was the least of it. and we took out over 3,000 people. And you know, there's an expression that 90% of the crime is caused by 2% of the population. And when
90% of the crime is caused by 2% of the population? Dude. Those are the inconvenient statistics that nobody wants to talk about. And I think I kind of have some assumptions on the 2% that he's talking about, but we'll see what he says here in a second. Oh my God. Is Trump going to drop a bomb on this one, dude? Oh my God.
When you hear that, you realize why we can do such a good job. We moved 3,000 people out, permanently out of Washington. These were career criminals. Many of them came in through the Biden open border disaster.
Abso-fucking-lutely, dude. That was the one thing that pissed me off about Joe Biden, and that's one thing that pissed off a lot of Americans about Joe Biden, was how relaxed he was. First off, soft on crime. That's the problem with Democrats, is they're soft on crime. Another thing about the Democrats that a lot of people were pissed off about was they allowed basically an open border, and it was very noticeable. And people were like, that's stupid. That is fucking dumb. So they were like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to vote Trump. Because you know what? Since the Democrats don't give two shits about border security, at least this guy does. He may not be the ideal man. He may have his flaws, and he has a lot of them. But I would rather have this guy than Kamala or Joe.
Disaster. They came in. They weren't there. They came in. They said, we want to live in Washington where they'll take good care of us.
And for those of you guys in the chat who are saying, aren't you sad that we could have had Kamala as president? Dude, why would Kamala would, no. No. It's incompetence run amok. And dude, could you imagine we would have also had Tim Walz as the vice president? No. Hell no. Fuck no. That's awful. Like, honestly, I'm fine. I'm fine with Trump and Vance. And honestly, JD Vance 2028, baby. Or if JD Vance doesn't run, Marco Rubio 2028. I'm down. I'm just basically anti-Democrat at this point. I become so anti-Democrat because of, a lot of the people out there who, there's a lot of people out there that have made the Democrat Party less appealing. The people who have injected socialism and communism into the party, those who have, honestly, I'm not even a big fan of democracy to begin with. I'm a big fan of a republic because a republic is a semi-democracy. It's semi. But at the end of the day, not all the laws are determined by the entirety of the people. So I'm fine with a representative republic. Totally fine with that. Because honestly, I trust as long as we vote the right representatives, we try. As long as we vote the right representatives in, they know the laws better than we do. Admittedly, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't vote on every law effectively. And it's a good thing that we don't, because some laws can be caked in bad policy. No, that's not good. That's not good. That's just the way I see it, though.
Give us plenty of welfare, and we got them all out. We moved them back to their countries. Sometimes we'd put them in prison because they were so dangerous. We had one person killed 4 people in a short period of time. Many of the people, 11,888, 50% of them in our country, they came from jails. Other countries opened their jails and let them into our country because Biden and his great border czar, the border czar who never once went to the border, never once called Border Patrol. But his great border, perhaps you've heard her, Kamala. Has anyone heard of Kamala? She was
Kamala! We were just mentioning her, dude. Dude, she's so bad. Dude, honestly, Kamala Harris might have been one of the most incompetent candidates for president of all time. I'm very, very satisfied with the fact that we didn't even go for her, man. Okay, let me take a look here. Well, the markets are pretty up, pretty stable, more than I would have expected. I thought the markets were going to be down today, to be honest. That was speaking of failed predictions, which I have a lot of failed predictions, not all of them. But let's see here. No, I would be a shitty president. I would be a shitty fucking Trump runs circle. I honestly think that, like, even though Trump is not the best public speaker, I honestly think that Trump, and a lot of people who are fairly intelligent are not always often very good public speakers, surprisingly. Sometimes they're not even all that great at writing. But I will say this, though. I don't think Trump is as stupid as people think he is. I think that Trump would run circles around. Obviously, I would be a terrible, terrible president. I would be awful. I avoid politics like I should say I avoid running for office. I will say this, though. I actually do want to run for an office in Coos County. So one of the reasons I want to run for office in Coos County is not because I think I would win, because I think I would lose terribly, and I'll tell you why. I want to run for the reason I would run for office is simply because it would be hilarious to see all the smear campaigns about me, because all you have to do is go on my YouTube channel and then just clip the videos of me putting frosting on me and then saying ooh woo and doing all the stupid shit that I do on the stream. All you have to do is clip that, and then you can make an easy smear campaign about me. I just want to see all the smear campaigns, and then once all the smear campaigns come out, I would then make a compilation for my YouTube channel of all the sweet ass smear campaigns, which are valid. But yeah, no, that's the thing. So I do want to run for office in Coos County. Not because I think I would win, because I think I would lose terribly, and I think it would be hilarious. I would love to do speeches, like I would love to debate. I don't know what office in Coos County I would try to run for, but I want to run for an office that would, like, be ridiculous. It's still over anything. Evidence of poor character does not mean you can't be president. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. I mean, to some degree. And look, I will say this. The reason I voted for Trump was not because he's a great guy. I think that Trump has a lot of skeletons in his closet. I do. I really don't, I don't think he's the worst person in the world. Look, if he gets convicted of something crazy, then I'll change my mind. But other than that, I do think he's got a couple skeletons in his closet. Maybe nothing too severe. But one thing I will say, let's see, you could be an ombudsman. Their primary purpose is to just a civilian coordinator with government officials. Yeah, I don't really actually want to truly be in political office. I just want to run for political office just to experience what that would be like. just even if it's for a small political office in like Coos County or something. But yeah, no, it would be fun to do debates and stuff like that. It'd be fun to get up on a stage, and because I know that anybody on stage anybody who's in politics for the long run, they'd probably be able to out debate me. They'd probably run circles around me on the debate stage, which I'm totally fine with admitting. I don't think I'm that great of a debater. I think I'm good at giving commentary. I know my strengths. I know my weaknesses. I think one of my weaknesses is I'm not a very good debater. Not because I necessarily fold, but I'm just not good at always... I'm not always the greatest at thinking on the fly. Sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm bad. I'm very inconsistent is the problem. Which is why I'm perfect at political commentary, because I'm very hit or miss. But... and it's comedic. It's comedic when I do it on the show, how bad I can be at certain commentary. But I don't know. It would be fun. Maybe I'll run for Coos County Treasurer. That's a bad idea. Do you guys think I should run for Coos County Treasurer? That'd be a bad idea. Oh, no. I don't think that's actually a good idea now that I think about it. That'd be funny, though. Dude, I would bankrupt Coos County probably. If I was the treasurer for Coos County, I'd be like, let's allocate the funds to... Let's allocate all of our funds to the Adult Fund Center in Coos County. That's basically what I would do. If I was the Coos County treasurer, I'd probably just allocate all of it to the Bachelor's Inn and Filled with Fun, Adult Fun Center. So I think being Coos County treasurer is off the table. But yeah, no, I think it would be hilarious just to do a campaign. Garza for county commissioner. Oh, man. Let's see. The mayor of Coquille is running for state office. Oh, heck yeah. That's pretty pimp. The one that was the teenage... He was a teenage mayor, huh? Was he like 19 or... Was he like 18 or 19 when he became mayor? That's crazy. I mean, if you're honest, you're better than 95%. Yeah, probably. Sure. I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing. I do speak the truth that I am, believe it or not, for the most part, I do exaggerate. I will admit on this channel, I am a Trump fan. I'll admit that. But I do exaggerate my love of Trump. I definitely overly glaze Trump on my channel intentionally. I mean, I really do like the guy. I don't think everything he does is gold. I don't think everything he touches is gold. You know, he makes mistakes. But see, he worked at the barber shop there for a while. Hell yeah. But he's third tier for the Republican ticket this year. Well, I mean, hopefully he does a good job. I mean, who is the mayor of Coquille? Hold on, I don't even know who the mayor of Coquille is. Let me see. Mayor of Coquille. Sam Flaherty. Mayor of Coquille, he is sworn office. Oh, okay. Cool. That's Mayor Flaherty. I don't know much about the dude, but let's see here.
Border czar, that was like having nothing as a border czar, and they poured into our country and they made our country very, very unsafe. And the job that ICE and Border Patrol have done, they don't get the appreciation they deserve. They are great American patriots. They're incredible.
I will admit, I would not want to be an ICE agent personally, and I'll tell you why. One, first off, I'm too much of a softie to be an ICE agent. I'd probably let too many people go. I would get fired after 2 days. Second, I just don't think I could take the berating that people would give me if I was an ICE agent, because I know that if I was to be an ICE agent in Oregon, for example, I would probably get berated, and I'd be like, dude, I can't fucking do this anymore. I'd be like, I'm done. So... yeah, no, I'm not interested in that sort of shit. I couldn't be an ICE agent. I'm not against ICE, but I'm not necessarily like gung-ho, like ICE. I do say I'm pro-ICE on this channel, and I for the most part I am, but I'm not like gung-ho thinking that ICE can solve all the problems. I don't believe that. But I do think that immigration customs enforcement is necessary. Or was it immigration? I don't know. I can't remember what ICE completely stands. I'm an idiot. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
Incredible people.
Dude, Tim Walz. We almost had Tim Walz as a vice president. That is scary, man. We almost had Tim Walz as a president, man. No, a vice president. That would have been scary, dude.
So we brought together 22 federal agencies, state and local police, and 1,500 members of the incredible National Guard to smash the grip of the violent criminals on this iconic American city. The city is incredible. People love it so much, but they're just fed up.
Yeah.
They can't stay, and now they're staying. I had somebody backstage say, sir, I was ready to leave, and now we're staying. I said, don't worry, it's going to get much better. Just takes a little more time. Like our D.C. efforts, the Memphis Task Force has been led by our Director of U.S. Marshal Services.
You know, I think Trump has faith of the heart of the cards. He's got faith of the heart, and he's got heart of the cards, dude. He's got heart of the cards, dude. I don't know.
Seralta, who's incredible. Where's Gaddy? Gaddy, you are unbelievable.
We got Song Jones in the house saying Tim Walz. Let's just...
Song Jones says, Tim Walz.
Tim Walz. Hell yeah, dude. It's like our little step in Iran, Iraq a few years ago. I still supported the troops, just not the action. Saying, yeah, all right.
And I want to thank you for the work. He did a job in...
Yeah, I think the war in Iraq was kind of a wild one. That was a forever war, though. That's the problem with the war in Iraq. It was a forever war. It felt like a forever war. Trump wants to get in and get out. That's the goal. Pete Hegseth said, hey, goal is to get in and get out, not a forever war. And granted, I think it's great that they don't want a forever war. Who the hell would want that? No, I think what they're doing is right, man.
Washington. So when I heard Memphis, I said, I want the same guy that did Washington. Because that went, you're going to tell us when you get up which was more difficult, all right? But members are known all over the world as the home of Graceland. You know I'm going to see Graceland after this? I think. Is that right? I love Elvis.
Oh, Trump is going to... I think Trump actually is trying to be Elvis. You know? In a lot of ways, Elvis back in the day was a bit of a troublemaker. He was shaking his hips, making all the ladies wet. You know?
I never met Elvis. Everyone said, did you? I met them all. I met Sinatra. I knew all of them. I never met Elvis. Sometimes.
Oh, dude, he never... Oh. Well, actually, hold on. When did Elvis die? That's crazy. Trump is old enough to have met Sinatra. That's wild. Holy crap.
I feel I should tell the little fib said I knew.
I will admit, Trump's got Frank Sinatra vibes, too, a little bit. Oh, my God. Maybe that rubbed off on him.
Him well. I love Elvis, but I never met him. But I'm going to go see Graceland after this, I think. I'm sure it's not going to be a very long stay.
And I was walking in Memphis.
But I want
Do
to see
I
that.
really feel
But for
the
years
way
prior
I
to
feel?
our involvement, Memphis had become known for something else, being the murder capital of the USA. That's not a good title. It was averaging far more than one murder per day.
Yeah, it is weird that Sinatra was a famous criminal. That's so crazy.
With a crime rate higher than Colombia, Mexico City, or Baghdad. In the year, I shouldn't be saying this, but here's the good news. It's been fixed. All right? I hate to say this because it's so negative. It's so negative. In the year before I took office, Memphis saw more than 12,500 violent assaults, 429 rapes, and 7,600 burglaries and armed robberies. And I mean, it was getting worse. This catastrophe was a result of years of local politicians, judges, and prosecutors who sided with violent criminals over law-abiding citizens. Basically, liberals, or now they like to go with the word progressives. You don't hear liberal. They're liberal. I don't like progressive because it's a beautiful word. You know, they use progressive because that's the only thing they're good at, politics, I guess. You know, they're bad at policy because all these policies are bad, but they're great at politics, and they do stick together. They stick together. They're good at politics, but they're bad at policy because they can't sell open borders. They can't sell transgender for everyone. They can't sell men and women's sport. So they can be the greatest politicians in the world, and that's why I'm here instead of them, I guess. But just as we have in D.C., here in Memphis, we've achieved one of the largest, fastest declines in violent crime ever recorded. So
Hell yeah, brother. I mean, the fact that they're able to reduce violent crime in D.C. is pretty remarkable. That's still remarkable, man.
that's something, right? Ever recorded.
And also in Memphis. Like,
in fact, you're half a percentage point away from the record, so we'll catch them in the next month or two, all right? I think that's going to happen. But that includes a 60% drop in robberies, a 74% drop in carjacking, and motor vehicle thefts. We have always achieved numbers that are good. These numbers are right on line to be among the best that we've done. And wherever we do this, we have very similar results. We were in New Orleans, where the governor called us, as you know, and we went to New Orleans.
I mean, look, he's in Memphis, Tennessee. I mean, he's not going to be talking about the Iran war the whole time. You know, I mean, he's going to be talking about a variety of things. That's what he's there for. He's not just there to talk about Iran only. He's there to talk about just other shit. It's like that's pretty much it, you know.
Just had Mardi Gras.
That's about it.
They said it's the first. It sounds terrible, but it's the first Mardi Gras we've ever had where there was no murder. Can you imagine? Doesn't sound too good, but you know, we're talking about the facts. And
hey, real quick before we continue to watch this video, you guys were at 9,195 subscribers. We're only 5 subscribers away from hitting 9,200 subs. So if you can, I ask kindly, sexually, no, not sexually, but no, I ask kindly though, if you guys can, please tap the subscribe button in the upper right hand corner. It does help the channel grow. We are trying to reach 9,200. Trying to see if we could get to that point, but you know, whatever you guys could do, I really do appreciate it. You guys do help the channel grow in a lot of ways. I mean, you guys have been a big part of the channel. To people who have subscribed, I thank you. To people who haven't, I hope you guys subscribe, man. I'll admit I'm pretty pro-Trump on this show. Granted, so if you're not pro-Trump, you're probably going to hate it. But overall, I don't block anybody, so you guys are free to say whatever you want. I will argue, but I try not to block anybody, even if they're like spamming. You know, that happens. Spam happens. But yeah, let's keep it rolling.
He said we had the lowest crime that we've ever had on Mardi Gras, which is almost nothing. We went there about 4 months ago. We did a great job. So we've achieved a 70% reduction in murders from...
Oh, we're only 4 subscribers away, man. We're at 9,196. Once again, 9,196 subs. 4 subs away from hitting that goal. So don't forget to tap the simp scribe button in the upper right-hand corner. Thank you, guys. Who's going to be the 9,200th? We're at 9,197 subs. I'm getting pumped, dude. I'm pumped up. Like a bathmate. Yo, I'm pumped up. Thank you, Mr. Eagle, for sending the 100 for 2 jewels. I greatly appreciate it. But, yep, we're only 3 subscribers away from hitting 9,200. We're on pace to hitting 10,000 subs. Pretty excited about that overall. I don't know why I said the ol. I was like, overall. Overall, laddie. We're almost to 9,200. We're almost even to 10,000 subscribers. But yeah, now we're at 9,198 subs. Once again, we're at 9,198 subscribers, so don't forget to tap subscribe. We're only 2 subscribers away now from hitting 9,200. Don't forget to subscribe in the right-hand corner. It is free, by the way. Now we're at 9,200. Let's go. Dude, thank you guys for getting us to 9,200. And let's keep watching Trump, Daddy.
Peak in this place. In total, we've arrested 7,000 criminals, seized more than 1,100 illegal guns, taken more than 1,000 pounds of illicit narcotics.
Oh, shit, we're at 9,199. Somebody unsubscribed. Oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. But, yeah, we're only 1 subscriber away from hitting 9,200, so who is technically going to be the 9,200 subscriber? Tap the subscribe button right now, you guys. Let's get it on.
And rescued more than 150 missing children, making their parents beyond happy. So I'd like...
I mean, Kamala Harris did not almost beat Trump. Hold on. Hold on. Speaking of fake news, that was not even close. Trump election results. Okay. CNN's fake news, but we're going to look at this anyway. So here is the result of the Electoral College. All right. Now, granted,
Small wiener gang.
Trump did win by 2 million votes. 2,300,000 votes. Granted, he still won the popular vote narrowly. Now, there were a lot of people who were going to vote Kamala even though she sucked. But Trump did win the Electoral College, 312 to 226. He won a lot of the key states. Look, there are anti-Trump people out there, granted, but there were people who saw Kamala Harris and they were like, fuck this, dude. Here's the map. By the way, I actually thought, for a little bit, I thought Minnesota was going to turn red. Nevada, let's see. Trump won Nevada. Trump won Arizona. Dude, Trump won majority of the states. Like, at the end of the day, California, of course, overwhelmingly. You know what's funny? California overwhelmingly voted Kamala Harris. Actually, I don't know. Oregon, I thought Oregon was going to flip red, to be honest. I thought Oregon was on pace to flip red, but we came a little bit closer. We're not as, I don't think we're as left as people think we are. Now Donald Trump definitely won Florida. I will admit, obviously, California is going to vote California votes blue no matter who. That's the thing. California is the king or the queen of voting blue no matter who. New Mexico was actually kind of a surprise to me a little bit. Colorado wasn't. Colorado's become pretty blue. Utah makes sense. Wyoming makes sense. Idaho. I guess Wisconsin was kind of a surprise. Let's see. Michigan. Ohio, dude. Trump won in Ohio hard. Trump also killed it. Well, I wouldn't say killed it, but he won in Pennsylvania, won in Indiana. Of course, we have the left. We call this the left coast. This is the left coast over here. Left coast over here. But yeah, pretty much Trump won the majority of the states he needed to win. And to be honest, the fact that a Republican won the popular vote is pretty impressive. It shows that people were done with the Democrat Party overall. Well, the thing is, the people who were going to vote for Joe Biden were going to vote for Kamala Harris anyway. So it's not like, and then here's the thing. The people who, like I said, the people who were going to vote for Joe Biden were already going to be voting for Kamala Harris. Those were the diehards. And the people who were voting for Trump were already going to be voting for Trump. But there were independents that they were trying to win. And it's true. There were independents that they were trying to win on this one. Ashland, Eugene. But yeah, here's the thing. The reason that they vote blue is because the cities, I don't know what it is about, but here's the thing. The cities tend to vote blue. I don't know why. I have zero clue, because the Democrat Party has lost its mind, in my opinion. And you know what? But hey, either way, Trump won the popular vote. I'm happy about that. Basically, the reason that Trump winning the popular vote was very significant was this. Americans were done with the mainstream media. Americans were done with being told what to do by Democrats. Americans were done with open borders. There were a lot of things the Democrats did that pissed off the majority of Americans. And now, granted, there are things that Donald Trump is doing that are also pissing off a lot of Americans too. I'll admit that. I'll admit that some of the things he is doing are not popular in certain areas. There are some people who are pissed off at Trump, who did vote for Trump. I'll admit that. I'll admit that people are. I'm not pissed at him, but I'll admit that there are people who are pissed off about all this. Sure. Let's keep going.
You to please join me in thanking, I tell you, every single.
By the way, we're now, just as a shout out, we're now at 9,200 subscribers. Once again, 9,000. Oh, never mind. 9,199. We're back down to being one subscriber away from hitting 9,200. But yeah, if you guys can, don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow in a lot of ways, so I do appreciate it if you guys can. Please subscribe. It means the world to me, and let's keep watching Trump Daddy.
Law enforcement hero here today. We have a small number compared to what's doing the job, who helped make Memphis safe again. Memphis, just so you know, with all of the things we said.
Make the Michael Garza show great again and make Memphis safe again. I cannot agree more. Thank you so much, Malcolm Barr. Thank you for subscribing.
Malcolm Barr says, I just subscribed.
Hey, everybody give a shout out to Malcolm Barr. Thank you for subscribing, brother. Let me put you back on the board real quick. Put you back
Malcolm
up.
Barr says, I just subscribed.
Hey, everybody, give a shout out to Malcolm Barr. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Brony. We're at 9,000. Oh, dude, we're at 9,202 subscribers. We're climbing up the ranks, dude. We're climbing up those ranks. You guys don't forget to subscribe, though. Please tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. We're slowly, quickly, actually. We're actually quickly getting to We're actually quickly getting to 10,000 subs. Hey, everybody, give a shout out to Indestructible. Thank you so much to Indestructible. I'm going to put your name back up on the board.
Small Wiener Gang.
Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Everybody give a shout out to Indestructible for subscribing. If you guys want to be like Indestructible, please subscribe to the channel. Let's go, dude.
Malcolm Barr says, "Hey chat." Tina Lion Gaming says, "You're obsessed with us, Cramp."
OMG, bro. OMG. Let's see. I'll play this real quick.
William Bentley 7057 says, "We were also rated down at 40th for national freedoms and democracy by an international think tank."
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, an international think tank. Okay. Well, here's the thing, though. I mean, you got to know how many studies. I like to do an average of the studies. So, for example, I like to look at multiple studies, and I kind of like to average out the studies. So, if one study is saying, if one think tank is saying that we're 40th, here's the thing. I don't also. What about other entities? Okay, a conglomerate of multiple nations, think tank, a group. Okay, people are known for their... Yeah, here's the thing. You know, Eagle, I'm going to say this. Intelligent people believe a lot of stupid shit, though. You know, I'll give you an example. Doctors are shitty with money, but they're great at healing people, right? You know what I mean? Like, smart people will believe in stupid things. So also, intelligent people can also make wrong assertions. You know, that's the thing. Intelligent people can believe in stupid ideas. And honestly, look, granted, I don't believe that. I think America is losing some of the freedoms, but we are more free than most countries. I really firmly believe that. We can protest our own government without getting killed. We can... I will admit, I'm not a big fan of... I do believe that Homeland Security has overstepped its bounds a couple of times for sure. But yeah. But anyway, we're at 9,200. Wow, we're at 9,204 subscribers. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to subscribe to the channel. It really does mean a lot to me. We're getting closer and closer every day to 10,000 subs. So don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It really does help us out in growing the channel. You guys mean the world to me. Thank you, guys. Let's keep watching Daddy Trump, dude.
You have now developed a reputation as a city that's coming back stronger than any city in the country because of what's happened with crime and because your political leaders had the courage to do what
Dude, Memphis is making a comeback, man. And look, if there's a lot of crime in a city, and it can be stopped, man, if there's methodologies that work to stop crime, implement them in your city. Hell yeah.
So I'd like you to also say a special welcome and hello to the Tennessee National Guard, the Memphis Police Department, ICE, CBP, the ATF, DEA, Homeland Security Investigations, the U.S. Marshals, the Tennessee Highway Patrol, and all of law enforcement. Everybody got together and they said, we're going to make Memphis great again. And they really did. It's so good. But
dude, make Memphis great again, man. I'm down. I'm fucking down.
You know,
dude.
I talk about how good it is. We're at 75%. Some people say 80, 81%. That still leaves 20%. You're going to be down in another 2 months, 3 months, I think, Addy. We're going to.
Oh shit! The markets are going back up, man. Hold on. Markets are going back up. Oh shit! Small cap is looking good. Small cap went back up. Yeah, I love it, man. No, the markets are looking great. I ended up buying silver at really low prices last night in the overnight markets. Everybody was being pessimistic about silver. I ended up buying a few shares of SLV for like $55. And now, the SLV went up to $63.20. What was it? $63.44 currently. Technically, if I was to trade any of my position now, though, it would count as a day trade, and technically you only have 3 day trades that you could do. So I'm just going to wait until the overnight markets hit tonight, so that way I could trade some of my silver, if silver's still up, that is. If the silver ETF is still up, that is. But yeah, I love the SLV because it's one of the, in my opinion, one of the most accurate when it comes to spot price of silver. And the price of silver fluctuates so rapidly that, in my opinion, it is the ultimate volatility trade out there. But yeah, I love it.
We're going to be down to almost no crime. You're going to be an almost crime-free city. You're going to be so proud of it. People are going to stay. They're going to.
No, and I really do hope that Memphis and places like Washington, D.C. become completely crime-free because, I mean, they are definitely crime-ridden for sure. It's wild just how crime-ridden a lot of these cities can be ultimately. Yeah, it's crazy.
Come back because you have everything going, but you have that one horrible cloud over your head. And
it's funny, man. You guys are talking about drugs, man. This might be the only person less informed than Mike on this channel. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, here's the thing, man. Look. I may not be perfectly informed, and honestly, granted, I'm able to make up my mind about a lot of stuff, dude. Come on, man. Either way, at the end of the day, I'm winning. At the end of the day, I'm winning in life, and I don't compete with anybody. Thank goodness, because I you know what, one of the reasons that I'm actually doing a good job in life right now is because I don't compete with anybody. That's like one of my best attributes is I don't need to. I don't want to. I don't think anybody really needs to compete with anybody. They just need to see what they can accomplish, set some goals, and try their best to improve their own statistics. But anyway, make a better life for themselves, try to be fulfilled as best as they can, and I think that's really what matters the most. But no, I don't know. Either way, I'm winning. So
essentially, people know it's happening. But essentially, in another 2 months, you're not going to have anything. You're going to have a virtually crime-free city. So today, I'm pleased to announce that the Secretary of War used to be the Secretary of Defense. We made a minor change. We like the sound of it better.
I will say that people can say I'm uninformed all they want, but that's probably one of the biggest lies. If anything, I think what I've been able to accomplish shows that, you know, while I may not be the most informed person, I can't know everything, and I don't want to know everything. I do have the ability to create conclusions based off things that I've read in history, my understanding of how the world works, for the most part. Granted, even that's limited, but either way, all I know is I'm really good at learning. I'm very happy. I'm very happy that I don't have any learning disabilities as far as I know, because I would not be able to accomplish what I've been able to accomplish in life as a swing trader, as a YouTube guy. I would not be able to accomplish anything, you know? So when it comes to the world of politics, I'm very proud of not being misinformed because, like I said, I take what the mainstream media says with a grain of salt majority of the time. And the crazy thing is I trust Trump more than I trust the mainstream media. I don't trust Fox News. I don't trust CNN. I don't trust MS Now. I don't trust any of the mainstream medias. I just don't. I think they're lying.
That the Secretary of War just signed a directive to ensure that all National Guard members serving on this task force, as well as in D.C., New Orleans, and our border security. I
will say this. To say that I'm uninformed is actually kind of stupid. you know? I will say that I'm happy I'm not misinformed, though. I really mean that. I'm happy I'm not misinformed.
Missions will receive the same benefits as active duty troops because you deserve it. That's not bad. That's not bad. So before we leave, I want to thank Attorney General Pam Bondi, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. These are great people. Chief of the National Guard Bureau.
Sitting in a chemo waiting room for Larson is how's your mom doing, man?
Larson Christopher says, sitting in a chemo waiting room on my Wi-Fi only device.
I do hope your mom's doing better, man. Thank you, Larson. But dude, I really do hope you're doing all right, man. I mean, I hope your mom's doing all right too. I just hope you're both doing okay. And I know that whenever my mom goes through chemo treatments, it can be scary. I know how that goes, man. You know, I'm not the most religious guy in the world, but you know, if there is some sort of divine creator, man, I am praying. I'm praying that, you know, there could be some healing, man. Praying that there's healing. Absolutely, man. That's one of the reasons why. And I will say this.
Larson Christopher says, 60 years of cigarettes leaves a bad result on health.
I will say quitting smoking when I was younger was one of the toughest things that I ever did, because honestly, I'm not going to lie, I love nicotine. Technically, they do have nicotine pouches now that are pretty safe, that just have, like, I think, like, straight up nicotine or something in them, like little pouches, but like snus and stuff. Yeah. I don't know, dude. Come on, man. I understand that doctors exist, you know. Come on. Come on. Jesus. Anyway. I mean, look at Billy. Look, you lead a stressful life. You know, you got 2 kids you got to deal with. You know, you're a family man. It's when you have to deal with family stuff, man, it's not easy. So I totally get it. Everybody needs to have their vice. Hopefully, you know, I am hoping that maybe I don't know what a good alternative to cigarettes is. I know vaping's not the best way to do it either, but oh yeah, absolutely. By the way, the doctors absolutely put action to it without a doubt, But you know, if there's a little bit of magic in the universe that can make somebody heal, though, might as well throw out the prayer anyway. You know, throw the prayer out there in the ether. Not saying it may do good, maybe it'll do bad. I'm not too sure, but not entirely sure at least, but yeah. Quitting is a tough one, though. I will admit, quitting cigarettes was very tough for me. I mean, I did replace cigarettes with, you know, caffeine for the most part. But let's keep going, man.
Bureau General Stephen Nordhaus, FBI Director Kash Patel, wonderful guy.
I'm not a big fan of Kash Patel, man. Here's the thing. I want Pam Bondi and Kash Patel to go, dude. I don't want them to be in the positions that they're in, man. Kash Patel and Pam Bondi piss me off, dude.
You got to get to know him. Once you get to know him, he's a wonderful guy. I've known him too long, right? He's a good guy. DEA Administrator Terry Cole, what a job he's done. Acting Director of Vice, where's Terry? Good job, Terry. What a job.
Larson Christopher says, to clarify, I'm at the HQ of Mayo Clinic in Rochester, MN. This is your best chance to beat any illness. My mom has had more than $2 million of medical stuff in the last year. Stage 4 is manageable now.
Nice. That's a good thing. My mom's been going through she had stage 3. She has stage 3 breast cancer. It's been a tough one. But there's been lots of treatments that she's been able to do to make things easier on her life and prevent it from coming back. Yeah, and I will say this, man. To Yager's Farm, exercise your freedom of speech, however, approach it with respect. Yeah, so here's the thing. I will say that I've never fully quit alcohol. I still drink a beer on occasion. Don't get me wrong. I don't drink as much as I used to, though. I probably drink once or twice a week. And when I drink, though, it's usually it's like 1 or 2 beers. I do enjoy alcohol a little bit, though. I'm not gonna lie. When I do drink, when I drink a couple beers, though. It feels very relaxing. Yeah. Yeah. Whew. But no, I think my mom's been doing really well. So I'm very happy with a lot of the results. But we still keep a close eye on it. She still has to go in for treatments and things of that nature. Give me 1 second, you guys. I got to take care of a couple things on here. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in so far. Give me a few more moments. Just going to step away for a second. But I do want to thank everybody for taking the time to send gifts and super chats, though. I always appreciate it big time. So any gifts, any whatever, I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. All right.
In Washington, too. Acting Director of ICE, Todd Lyons. Todd, great. Thank you, Todd. Good job. Head of the ATF, Rob Cicada. Rob. Thank you, Rob. Head of the Tennessee Highway Patrol, Colonel Matt Perry. Thanks, Matt. And head of the Tennessee National Guard, Major General Warner Ross.
Major General.
You guys look Central Casting. These are Central Casting people. What did you need us for? You didn't need us. Anyway, they had to let you do your job, right? They're letting you do your job now. Thanks as well to Tennessee Governor Bill Lee for the outstanding job. Thank you very much, Bill. We appreciated your call. Bill called me up. He said, we need a little help in Memphis, sir. Would you get over here, please? He said, I have no pride. We just want this thing straightened out, right? So thank you very much. I'm glad it worked out. Oh, you haven't seen, what do you see? In 90 days from now, you're going to see numbers that blow these off. You're down 70, 75%. You're going to see numbers that you're going to be very proud of. Senators Bill Haggerty and Marsha Blackburn. Great people. Great people.
Now I will say that Trump is definitely glazing quite a bit on this one. Let's see. Yeah, no, I think it's great that we can. No, I think that it's good that Larson Christopher is, total stud, by the way, man.
You have some real warriors, too, as your congressmen and women. David Kustoff, Andy Ogles, Diana Harshbarger, John Rose, Matt Van Epps, and Chuck Fleischman. Will you all stand up? Warriors all. Everyone.
I mean, I will say that Trump's giving praise left and right. He's giving praise to a lot of people. That's pretty cool.
Great, great people. You don't get better, and it's not the easiest job, is it, huh?
Hell no.
Speaker of the House, you know what I like about them? They're not 3 o'clock in the morning. Sir, I get a call from Mike Johnson, Speaker. Sir, we have a problem. What time is it, Mike? 3 o'clock, sir, morning. We vote at 9. We need, it's always the same, it's like 8 or 9. Sir, could you call them for us and see if you can get their vote? 3 o'clock. Call them up. Hey, Jim, how you doing? Hello, sir. I'm not there. Well, you got to get there. 9 o'clock, you got to vote. Sir, could I have a little breakfast so we could discuss this bill? Like a perfect bill, like, voter ID or something. The bill didn't have to be too great to do it. He said, could we have maybe a little breakfast at the White House, sir? So, because I can get there, but I'm just not there. Come on over for breakfast, Bill. I got a lot of them, too. I have about 9 of them. But these are the people we love. So I want to thank you all. Speaker of the Tennessee House of Representatives, and I hear this guy, he's fantastic. Cameron Sexton, where is he? I have heard such good things about you. And you're working on a very specific bill right now. I know all about you. That's great. Let me know when it's finished, You got to send me a copy, okay? That's great. Thank you, Cameron. You're doing a great job. Shelby County Sheriff Floyd Bonner. Thank you, Floyd. National President of the Fraternal Order of Police. Oh, that's a big one. He gave me his endorsement. Patrick Yost. Where's Patrick? He gave me his endorsement. I said, well, what's your endorsement worth? How many members? He said, sir, we have 490,000 members. I said, that's a good endorsement. Patrick, do you think anybody outside of, within law enforcement, did anybody vote for Kamala that you know of? Don't say it. You're going to get yourself in trouble.
Oh, man. No, I think, yeah. Trump's the man, dude. Trump is not only an expert at trash talk, I will admit he's good at glazing too. So I like it. He glazes, he trash talks. It's kind of funny.
But thank you, Pat. That's great. We had an unbelievable. I do believe we got 98, 99% with law enforcement, and why not? President of the National Sheriff's Association, Chris West. Chris, thank you very much. Thank you, Chris. Stand up, Chris. Thank you. Well, why are you so far back there, Chris? You deserve to be in the front row. The National President of the Federal Law Enforcement Officers Association, Matt Silverman. Great guy, too. They're all great guys, all guys we know. All guys, thank you, Matt. They're all guys that supported me, Pam, every one of them. For years, our leaders allowed entire cities in America to be destroyed by crime, drugs, and gang violence. Tolerating this violence was always a choice. 19 of the 20 most dangerous cities in America are run by Democrats. I'm surprised. I thought it was 20 of 20. I don't know why it's 19. I don't believe it. It's like I heard it was 25 out of 25. Well,
crazy.
I'll find out about it because I don't believe it's right. Whoever wrote that statistic is wrong. But under the Trump administration...
What a stud, dude. What a sexy stud, dude. Oh, man. I got a shout out from the President loves Zaddy.
We believe that no city or neighborhood should be left behind. In Memphis, the crime became so horrible that residents were made prisoners of violence in their own community, in their own home. But with the help of the great people right here at this table and right here, it's a whole different story right now. It's changing fast, and it'll be record-setting in a very short period of time, and I'll be here to celebrate it with you. You know, it's a very special state to me. I won this state, Bill, by numbers that nobody's ever won it before. We have the all-time record for votes. So I happen to like the state. I love Tennessee. Maybe someday I'll move to Tennessee. I might have to move. No, I love it.
He's glazing a little bit. I don't think Trump would. Maybe Trump would want to live in Tennessee. I don't know. I've never been to Tennessee, so no clue if it's a great place to live. It sounds like it wasn't for a bit. I mean, maybe it's better. I have no idea. Zero clue. But yeah, I'm just curious to see what Trump's saying about all this, you know. I'm always one of the reasons I enjoy watching Trump speak on this channel is I never know what he's going to say. And it's kind of entertaining, man. It's kind of like me going to a slot machine and not sure if I'm going to win or lose. So, yeah, I don't know. I enjoy because Trump. I will admit, when it comes to what he says on the podiums, he's a total wild card, and it's kind of fun to watch.
You never know what that is. You know, you just have a relationship with the state. It's a lot safer than relationships with other things, I can tell you as a politician. But I especially want to thank Speaker Sexton, who's working with the task force to pass model bills that will be toughen crime, to deliver permanent safety to the people of Memphis. And really, I don't know if you know, but they're looking at this all over the country, what you're doing. They're studying it. That's why I know your name so well. And all over the country, they're studying it. And so I hope you do a great job, as simple as you can and as complex in the sense of we want to be tough. We want to be strong on crime because that's the thing. We want to have heart. We want to have fairness, but we have to be tough because some of these people are bad people that should have never been allowed to be here. Since I took office, we have successfully arrested or removed from the country over 500,000 hard-line criminals.
Hell yeah,
under
dude.
Our leadership last year,
Hell
the
yeah.
murder rate nationwide saw the single largest decline ever recorded to the lowest level in 125 years. That's something. That's something. And this is despite the fact that they allowed 25 million people into our country. Many of those people should never have been allowed into our country. So now I'd like to ask Director Gaddy Seralta, who's really a special guy, and I've lived with him because of Washington, D.C. I saw what he did, but to say a few words. And congratulations for what you've done everywhere, but today we're only interested in one place, Memphis, Tennessee. Thank you very much, Gaddy. Thank you, Mr.
My boy Trump's walking in Memphis, bro.
President, thank you very much. So good morning to you, and thank you, Mr. President. Today we celebrate the successes of this incredible mission and all our federal, state, local, and National Guard teammates who have contributed mightily to the Memphis Safe Task Force. Mr. President, it is an honor to be entrusted by you to lead this amazing task force as Director of the United States Marshal Service. Your decisiveness in responding to state and local leaders' requests for federal assistance is inspiring.
Trump's the man,
just
dude.
Over 6 months
Trump's the GOAT, bro. The GOAT.
ago, when you signed the executive order restoring law and order in Memphis.
Being a total pimp. A pimp.
At that point, the city of Memphis was overwhelmed with unprecedented levels of violent crime, to include some of the nation's highest per capita rates of murder, robbery, and aggravated assault. Memphis residents could not safely enjoy a walk downtown.
Yeah, Trump's my boy, dude. My boy. We got Yager's Farm in the house. We got Yager's Farm Gym. We got lots of people. Lots of people at Tiny Lion Gaming. We got my boy Mr. Eagle. We got my boy Larson, Christopher. We got lots of people in the house. Lots of sexy studs. So many sexy studs in the house.
Parents were fearful of their children playing outside, and local...
Look, if you guys appreciate my live coverage, which I'm sure some people don't, but I don't really care. To anybody who does appreciate the coverage that we do on this channel, the weird commentary, I glaze Trump just as much as Trump glazes everybody else at the panel. But I will say this, if you guys love Donald Trump, you guys love this channel, tap the subscribe button. If you guys are huge fans of watching live coverage, or at least semi-live coverage, I should say, of these types of events, don't forget to tap subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. Let's keep going, man.
Businesses struggled to prosper. The mission you gave us was clear and concise. Crime will not prevail in Memphis, period. The city will not be surrendered to lawlessness. President Trump, thank you for your leadership. We had a blueprint, quickly restoring order and reducing violent crime, given our success with Operation Make DC Safe and Beautiful, as you mentioned. We began our deployment to Memphis and commenced operations on September 29, 2025 with 20...
Song Jones is saying Michelle Christina Marie Garza. That is my full name. That is my full name. How's it going, Song Jones? How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Just remember, my first name is Jaquan.
Partner agencies and 200 task force members. Now we partner with 33 multi-agency teams throughout.
Oh, by the way, we're now at 9,207 subs. Once again, we're at 9,207 subscribers. If you guys can, please tap the subscribe button. It does help the channel grow in more ways than one. OMG. Tap the subscribe button if you want to be with me. If you want my love and you want me to talk about Trump, would you subscribe to me and call me baby? All right, make sure you guys tap the subscribe button. Let's go, dude. Subscribe, baby.
The Memphis area. We have the support of over 2,700 officers and National Guard members who comprise the Memphis Safe Task Force, most of which are out here in the audience. In just over 6 months, the Memphis Safe Task Force has made over 7,342 arrests. This is last week's numbers, with charges ranging from homicide.
Yeah, I got no shame in voting for Trump, dude. No shame. You could say the country screwed up. Honestly, I think the country's more on the right track than people realize. We had 4 years of Biden ruining everything. Trump's getting us back on track, dude. I know it doesn't seem like it at first, but Donald's getting us back, dude.
There was 44 of those. 94 drug offenses. 812 drug offenses. And
812 drug offenses? And that, how much of amount of time is that? Because maybe it's a short amount of time. Because if you have 812 drug offenses, I don't know if that's in a year. I don't know if that's in a month. Maybe that's a monthly offense. I don't know.
757 gang-related offenses.
Jeez.
We have seized over 1,200 illegal firearms and located and returned 150 missing children.
That's scary, dude. It's wild how many missing children. Like, that blows my mind, man. That blows my freaking mind. Give me 1 second, you guys. I realized I had to check a couple things, so bear with me real quick. I got to check... checking a couple apps real quick. I realized I got to make a couple payments probably on a couple thingies. Remind me later. Okay, this is actually a very recent charge. Okay. Still going to make a payment on it, though. I'm paying off all my credit cards real quick in full, as I like to do. I do got to take a piss here in a second. Some of my cards, they don't have, like... They're not, like, crazy... they're not too crazy on it. Let's see. Make a payment. Yep. Cool. Transactions made. Hell yeah. BRB, one moment. Let's keep going. Here we go. All right. Give me a few more moments. Gonna see if there's anything. We're just taking a quick pause, real quick. Quick pause break. I gotta check. Gotta check some of my cards real quick. Bear with me for a few moments. Just a few more moments, you guys. We're gonna watch the rest of this here in a second. I'll make the payment here. Pay in full. Confirm. Oh yeah, I did make a. I think I made a purchase with my Citibank card. I'm trying to remember if I did or not. Wait, didn't I? I thought I did. No, maybe I didn't. Okay. So, City... Amazon store card. Give me a few moments, you guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so I made a payment there. Oh, okay. Well, it looks like I made payments on just about everything. Let me take a look at the Capital one. $20. Sorry, you guys. I'm just making sure that I get everything paid off. I try to make sure all my cards are paid in full. I pay off all my credit cards in full traditionally. Unless there's like one that has like 0% interest for a certain amount of time, then I don't necessarily need to on that one. Do I have... Wait. Hold on. Okay, so no, I already have... Did I? Hold on. So Capital One's payment system's kind of a pain in the rump. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so I am on the right path. Okay, so I got that all squared away. Almost there, you guys. Hold on. Thank you guys for tapping the subscribe button, though. The more subscribers we get, the better. It does help the channel grow. So I do want to thank you guys for being so incredible. $0. I'm just making sure all my credit cards have been fully paid off. Because I pay them off every like 2 to 3 weeks, typically. And let's see. See all transactions. When was the last payment I made? Last payment was the 14th of March. Yeah, I can make a payment on that one too. Make the payment. Full balance. Pay now. Confirm payment. Cool. All right. All credit cards are paid off. Sweet. I only use my credit cards for the reward points primarily. Yoggers says Garza's the best. Double tap to agree. I appreciate it, Mr. Yoggers. I do try to provide a fun show, or at least a show that, you know, look, I know who my target audience is, because my target audience is basically, you know, obviously it's people who think like me. But I also do enjoy people who don't think like me. But I do know who my primary audience is. I know which audience is most likely to be pissed off at me, and that's the liberals. The left is typically pissed off at me to no end. Granted, that happens all the time. The left can throw a temper tantrum if they want. That's totally fine. Leftists will constantly throw temper tantrums 24/7, and that's just the way it is, man. Just come to accept that, you know. Cool. All right, so I've scheduled all the payments that I need to pay, and let's go.
Each of these arrests and seizures of illegal contraband have a ripple effect, bringing justice to victims, relief to communities, and the prevention of future offenses or deadly accidents. Our work, however, has not just been about arrests and the seizure of illegal firearms and narcotics. Our Tennessee National Guard partners have made a significant impact while serving on the task force by administering several life-saving doses of Narcan to overdose victims, chasing down and detaining a fleeing murder suspect on Christmas Day, and providing immediate life-saving medical aid to the occupants of a vehicle collision on I-40. That's just a few of the things they've done. Similarly, our Health and Human Services Tactical Med, we call them TACMED, they're our doctors. Their team has treated almost 500 task force officers and related injuries during our operations. The fraud cell, the Memphis Safe Task Force fraud cell, has been a key contributor in targeting federal benefits fraud, organized crime, and other complex fraud matters. The fraud cell has more than 80 open investigations.
Damn, brother, damn.
3 cases active with the United States Attorney's Office. Their recent efforts have resulted in 2 indictments of convicted sex offenders living in housing paid for by Housing and Urban Development, and 1 indictment for stealing.
Shit, man. Holy crap, dude. He's listing off like all sorts of different things they're investigating. It's wild, man. Make Memphis great again.
Benefits from a social
Make Memphis
security
great again, bro.
beneficiary. I would also like to recognize the work of Attorney General Bondi's incredible staff at the Western District of Tennessee. Their stats tell a remarkable story as well. They have increased the number of defendants charged by 221%, and the number of cases indicted by 204%. when compared to the same operational period last year. I see you smiling, Mike. Congratulations. Without question.
I mean, that's a hell of a list, man. That's a list of accomplishments on their law enforcement end, and not gonna lie, it's pretty impressive. It's hella impressive, if you ask me. Flipping wild, brother. Flipping wild.
Without question, the public safety outlook in Memphis has improved dramatically. In the past 6 months, collectively, our efforts have resulted in a 43% reduction in total serious crimes, 37% reduction in murder, 40% reduction in sexual assault, 56% reduction in robbery, 68% reduction in motor vehicle thefts, and the most impressive of all is a 65% increase in the solvability of the crimes that have been committed. These numbers are so impressive that it's often easy to just recite them without reflecting on significant positive impact that we have had on lives of Memphis residents. The city's residents and visitors are now more likely to venture downtown, and our local businesses are rallying back. Large-scale public events have shown improved safety outcomes, as demonstrated during the December 6, 2025 St. Jude Marathon, where 22,000...
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. St. Jude's Marathon's amazing, man. St. Jude is an amazing charity, by the way. They're one of my favorites to donate to, man. The fact that they're helping kids with cancer and trying to find a cure for cancer is just amazing what St. Jude's does. And man,
runners gathered without a single reported downtown burglary, compared to multiple incidents in the prior year. Perhaps the most telling of all is one of our Special Assistant United States...
No, I think our country is going in the right direction. I really do. Without a doubt. 100%. By the way, we're at 9,210 subscribers. We just hit that mark. I can't believe it. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to subscribe to this channel, man. 9,210 subs. I mean, we're there, man. We couldn't have done it without you guys. I mean, we're closer. We might even get to 9,300 subscribers. Maybe at some point tonight, because I do plan on doing a stream later tonight. We are extremely, extremely close to hitting a mark that I've, every single time I do a live stream, man, we get closer and closer to 10,000 subscribers, and oh my God. So if you guys want to contribute to the show in any way, just the simple act of subscribing to the channel really helps more than you guys know. So every subscriber counts, every subscriber matters, so please take the time to subscribe. I do appreciate my subscribers on here. Anyway, let's keep going, man.
State's attorneys recently reported that a traveling emergency doctor...
Oh, dude, Trump does look like he's kind of dozing off a little bit, I'll admit it. Our boy looks like he's dozing off a little bit.
Emergency room doctor expressed his appreciation for all that the task force had done. You see, he said that in years past, he would see 3 to...
Dude, he might be falling asleep, dude. He might be falling asleep. Oh, shit. Ah, shit. Damn it. Being a self-made man gets to nap. Yeah, honestly, Trump's been a stud, dude.
5 gunshot victims per shift.
Hey, thank you, Major General Tao. Everybody give a shout out to Major General Tao for gifting a Michael Garza gift membership. I want to thank you so much for gifting this. It really does help the channels grow. It helps the channel grow. But everybody give a shout out to Major General Tao for gifting a Michael Garza membership. Love you, Major General. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate
Major
it, man.
General Tao says, sleeping through life.
And now he sees an average of 1 gunshot victim every 3 or 4 shifts. Mr. President, the Memphis Safe Task Force underscores one simple truth. When federal, state, and local agencies work together as genuine partners, we can reclaim even the most troubled cities. I am extremely grateful to you for the opportunity. To all our partner agencies, it has been an honor to work alongside you, and I look forward to sustaining and building on these partnerships as we continue to make Memphis safe again.
Make Memphis safe again. Make Memphis great again, dude. Walking in Memphis. Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Getty, very much. And Pam, I think, thank you. What a great job. And I think, I see them sitting out there, your U.S. attorney and your assistant U.S. attorney. You do a great job. Would you please stand up? Michael Donovan,
Honestly, I think things have gotten better and better. Honestly, the more I analyze, I think things are getting better and better here in America because of Trump. I mean, we got to avoid Kamala Harris, thank goodness. I think America realized that things were much worse under Joe Biden, and they were like, fuck that. We don't want to deal with Biden no mo. We don't want to deal with Biden no mo. We don't.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you both.
Oh, he said, thank you, Michael. Hell yeah, dude. Was he thanking me? Was he thanking the Michael Garza show? Hell yeah, dude.
Great job. Thank you. Pam Bondi, please.
Thank you, President Trump. Some people choose...
By the way, if you guys want to be a part of the Small Wiener Gang, all you have to do is tap the subscribe button on this channel. Once again, if you guys want to be part of the Small Wiener Gang, tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. We're known throughout YouTube as the Small Wiener Gang, and I hope you guys subscribe to the channel. We love you guys. We hope you guys do end up subscribing, man. We appreciate y'all. And we're at 9,210 subs. We're trying to get to 9,300 by the end of the night. Hopefully we can get to 9,300 by the end of the night as quickly as we can. We'll see what we could do. Trump's the man, dude. Trump is zaddy. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel, though. I really appreciate it.
To tolerate crime, but you chose law and order. And that's why this task force worked. It was all of us, as Gowdy said, working hand in hand with my FBI, DEA, U.S. Marshals, ATF, with Cash, with Terry, with Rob, with Gaddy. Not only that, with Pete.
Did she say Gaddy or Zaddy? Zaddy. They call me witty. P. Diddy.
With Department of War, with Homeland Security, with all of my agencies working hand in hand with the National Guard.
Man, this is a good
when
video.
you went out there, when we came to Memphis, you could not tell who was with what agency because everyone was working so well together. Our U.S. Attorney, Mike Donovan, was out there. And not only this, everyone needs to know, we met with this president multiple times about this endeavor.
I will say, I've been streaming for about almost 4 hours, you guys. So I do want to thank you all. I want to thank everybody for the gifts and the super chats. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Major General Tao, for the gifted membership. Incredible. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I'm glad the markets went up rapidly today. I mean, that helped my portfolio. And I mean, I was able to buy the dip yesterday in the last 2 days. Not 2 days, sorry. Friday and Thursday, I was able to buy quite a few dips. And everything went up, so I'm pretty happy about that. I was able to cash in on a little bit of profit today, and pretty stoked about that. Anytime I can get profit on my portfolio, man, I'm always very thankful on the swing tradable ETFs that I have. Keeping it rolling. But I want to thank you guys for taking the time to view. We're going to end the stream. I'll be streaming a little bit later. I'm going to be doing some laundry today. Probably doing some laundry today at my dad's house. So I don't know when I'll be back tonight. Probably be back around maybe 7 or 8 because I'll probably be chilling out there for a while, drinking some beer, probably hanging outside. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. What else do I want to say to you guys? Don't forget to tap the subscribe button, though, because we're currently sitting at... what are we at? We're at 9,211 subscribers. Once again, we're at 9,211. So if you guys tap the subscribe button, it really does help the channel grow a lot. So every subscriber counts. And have an incredible night. See you guys a little bit later. Or have an incredible day. I'll see you guys later tonight. That's what I meant to say. My bad. Later, everybody.